From Toledo, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, and somewhere trapped in Redmond, Washington, you mothers, is the Video Game Outsiders podcast. And now, here's one of your hosts, Michelle.
Welcome to episode 515 of the Video Game Outsiders podcast, our big E3 spectacular. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle Madison, gamertag Coastal Michelle.
And I, of course, am your John Jacobson, Xbox Live, PSN, Wii U, Thingy, Black Dog 7. Also, John from John's Arcade. John sucks at video games, etc. All right, we're here. We are here. This is it. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. We are live right now on youtube.com/VGOcast. And thank you to everybody who showed up to participate in the show, watch our dueling browsers. Once again, John has Addlefield. He has not changed it.
It is Addlefield.
You're a failure.
My favorite game is Addlefield.
That's right. We are going to be going over E3 tonight, and I wanted to also remind you guys to check out during the week RiotCast's.com and VideoGameOutsiders.com. Those are our other homes on the web. And then later we're going to be doing our bonus show over on Twitch.tv/VideoGameOutsiders.
We're getting crazy here.
That tonight. Yeah, we're going all over the place. You can also pick up our app over on the Android and iOS stores, and if you want to help the show out, you can subscribe and gain access to 12 extra bonus shows a month.
Definitely check that out too. Go to Google Play, go to the iTunes store or iOS store, and just search for Video Game Outsiders. It really is the best way to listen to this show. The app is completely free, by the way. It allows you to listen to all the new episodes for free. And then if you want the bonus content, Michelle.
Yep.
Because we do 12 extra episodes a month. We do the bonus show, like the extra show, the Blank Outsider show, and then the John show and the Michelle show. So that's 3 a week times 4. And it's $1.99 a month. It's a great way to support us. Just search for Video Game Outsiders in your app stores. So anyway,
we have a lot to cover.
We have a lot of ground to cover tonight.
Do a quick voicemail and then jump into our show.
I think we have to jump.
Yes.
So, yeah, anytime during the week, guys, if you want to send us a voicemail, send it to 520-FEEL-VGO, 520-FEEL-VGO. Let's go ahead and play the first voicemail here. Are you ready?
Yes.
VGO, what's good? Vaughn here, long-time listener and subscriber. Calling for John because I'm upset. We need you back, buddy. Battlefield 1 on Xbox is rocking and rolling. The French DLC is awesome. Some of the best map design Dice has ever done. We need you, man. I know PUBG is awesome. I can't wait for it to come to Xbox. But
he wants me back to Battlefield.
Just asking. Come on back so we can...
Well, he wants you back to Battlefield.
He's still talking.
Love to be on the show sometime. We'd love to talk shooters with you and defend Microsoft a little bit.
So, yeah, he wants me to come back and play Battlefield. He says the new DLC...
On Xbox, though, right? Not on PC, because haven't you been playing on PC?
I played on both. I actually have it still on Xbox because of the EA Origins or EA Access, whatever the fuck it's called on Xbox.
Right.
So, I guess, I don't know. Where would you rather play it, on Xbox or PC? It looks so great on PC with the 21:9.
You know what? The thought of going back to playing multiplayer gaming on consoles, the thought of playing anything but like exclusives that I have to on consoles is probably never going to happen. If I have the option, I'm always going to get it on PC.
But the thing is, though, Battlefield and Call of Duty historically have always played great on the Xbox. They have, and they still do. The controller support's good. It's not clunky like a lot of these other kind of budgety shooters.
But if I can, I don't want to get into the debate, but I'm just saying for me personally, if I can choose 21:9, if I can choose the better performance, if I can choose all that crap, I'm going to go. And that's where my friends these days are, that they're there. So I think if you have a bunch of people, I guess he misses you kind of on his friends list. I think what he's trying to say.
I know. The thing is, I put in so many hours in Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One. It's stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. You know what? That is definitely a guilt thing for me with that game. Because I feel like I should be playing it.
9 if I can choose the... Yep. I went through the same thing, like I said. And I think that for me, I played a lot more of like the alpha and the beta. And you kind of just tried it once and never went back. You were pissed off about the helicopter situation, the plane.
The planes. There's no helicopters in World War I.
Yeah, there weren't there. So you wanted to be able to hop in and fly, and you didn't like it. So...
Well, I don't know. It's just that I don't know what I didn't like about it. It's just I was missing the helicopters from Battlefield 4. I wasn't connecting with the weapons and the vehicles in general. But you know what? When we played in that beta, I think I played too much of it, and I really was like in love with it. And then when the full game came out, something happened. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway,
what are you doing over there? You're
I'm tweeting because there's nothing to retweet.
Okay, there was. I tweeted. All right, well, let's jump right into the 10-second spotlight.
Where each of us has 10 seconds to tell the world what we're playing, drinking, and anything else we can cram into a very stupid 10 seconds. Going first, of course, the queen of the ball. Oh, Tiger just tweeted. Michelle. So what's going on over there?
So I want to talk a little bit about Dirt 4. This was a game, once again, that I was eyeing. I knew I wanted to go over it for the show. But basically, it wasn't really something I wanted to pick up. So the first thing I did was check my Steam share list. Again, of course, one of my friends picked it up. So I got the chance to play it without actually having to buy it, enough to at least talk about for the show. So if you guys don't know, it's an off-road racing game. But there's a big divide going on right now already with how sim this game is. And that's why you're seeing some mixed reviews here. So this is out for everything but the Switch, I believe. So people are kind of saying there's too much grip. So there's the grip people, and then there's the no grip people. I guess for some, the cars are too grippy, and that has a lot of the purists mad.
Right.
They're saying that it's too arcadey. It's not like Dirt Rally or Dirt 3. So basically, I don't know. They say that the game is good for people who are new or have never heard of it. But if you are somebody who loves the old like rally sim games, that they really can't recommend it, which I didn't get because there's two modes, right? Gamer mode and sim mode when you play. So you can even choose, like, I figured, okay, I guess sim mode isn't simmy enough because of that like the cars feel like they're gripping the road.
Right.
So I don't know. For me, I kind of played it a little bit. I tried the career mode. I have to say, I did use a controller, and I've heard once again that if you play gamer mode, that controller is better for gamer mode, but sim mode, they don't recommend using a controller, which is weird because I'm wondering how that works if you are playing on console. People claim that sim mode is a lot better with mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I mean, for rally racing, you're kind of going down one road, which they call a stage, and there's multiple surfaces for it. Could be asphalt, dirt, gravel, whatever. There's little intervals along the way to stop and repair your car and all that crap. But during the career mode, I guess, like you play a bunch of different events. So I did Dirt Clubman Cup in Michigan, and they pair you with a professional driver, Nicky Grist. And he's kind of this British guy. I think he's in the car with you, like talking the whole time, because I heard like him talking. I didn't realize what was going on at first, but he's like rounding the brake 4, right 6, into left 5, right 4, right 6, 200, 100, left 6. It was at first I was like, what the hell is going on? But I think like this guy is giving you sort of advice. You're looking at the movie Dirt. I think you're kind of watching the wrong thing. But I thought this game performed well. I thought it looked beautiful. I did feel the grip of the car gripping the road, and I kind of liked that.
But do you grip when you're in the dirt?
Well, I don't know.
It's called dirt.
You know how people get though, John, when they those true people that want those true sims,
it's really
like with
not
Skate
like
versus
this.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if maybe Forza is more simmy now at this point, I don't know. I guess what the problem is people say it's not true to the dirt sims of the past, right? Where maybe the older ones were truly, truly very, very sim. And this one is just a bit more arcadey. For me, I did pick to, gaming mode instead of sim mode, and I found it fun. That's all I can say. I thought I had some fun racing. But maybe if you're somebody who wants like the old classic hardcore sim mode, maybe that sim mode isn't even enough. People are complaining a bit. But I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these mixed reviews, at least on Steam. But people are saying, other people are saying, like, get over it, guys. This is fun. It's a little different than the others, but it's still a good time. So that's just my personal opinion.
I feel like there's a lot of these like driving franchises that kind of just keep coming out, but no one really talks
Dirt's
about
been around.
that.
I think it's especially big in the UK, and I mean it's rally racing and there's go-karts and there's all these crazy cars and you're on dirt and you're just having a lot of fun. Like it just feels like you're all different surfaces, right? You're on dirt, John. That's the name of the game.
That's why you're on dirt. Okay.
Well, you're not only on dirt, you're on asphalt, you're in snow, you're in rain, you're all over the place.
Okay.
You're everywhere. You're driving in everything.
Dinzo Baggio says, love it. Game changer in terms of making a rally game a true rally game. The importance of the co-driver calls and the player reaction make this a truly on the edge of your seat experience race after race. Look at that. People like it.
I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, if you're a purist and you love the old ones, you don't want them to change, I guess be a little careful because it's not as simmy as thank you, DJ.
This guy
it's not as simmy as maybe it could have been. What, you found somebody who hates it?
This guy Game Rogue says if you're a fan of Dirt Rally, this is not what you're looking for. The supposed sim handling is on rails.
Yeah.
The cars have an unrealistic amount of grip.
Yeah.
You're
what I'm
right.
saying.
The
It's
people
the
don't
grip.
like the grip.
Yeah,
It's
is
too
the
grippish.
grip versus the no grip people. People are kind of,
Is it on
torn up
rails,
about
though?
that.
I mean, do you feel like it's a Mario Kart game where it's just
No, it's
controlling
not real. You're
itself?
on tracks. No, I didn't feel that way at all. You're definitely you're on the track and you're driving around. And I was on a track in Michigan with a lot of foliage and a lot of crazy stuff going on. And you're just like there's people cheering on the sidelines. I just thought it was a lot of fun. Like I wish I had my wheel for this because I think this would be a game that it's that's what makes it different than Forza though. It's the cars, the environments. Obviously, it's just different type of racing, but it's a racing game.
Right.
So. I had a good time with it, but do know that if you're a purist, it might not be simmy enough. Okay, then really quickly, I played a game called Islands of Nyne. I don't even know how to look up much about this game because right now it was a Kickstarter game, and right now it's in alpha, which is pre-early access. It's coming to early access later. So, but I want to talk a little bit about this game. What it is it's a battle royale game. Except it's a bit more like a Halo type sci-fi game than PUBG. But it's also first person.
Right.
And I know, John, you wanted to try too, but they closed for a while. They're shutting down for a bit, and then they're going to come back with a big update.
Yeah, I went to play on Monday, and the servers they ended them on Sunday. So
yes.
The servers are down. I'm actually really bummed I didn't get to play this with you because I wanted to try this so bad.
Well, like I said, I'm just going to try to compare it to PUBG right now or H1Z1 or something like that. But it's first person. It has futuristic weapons. Like I said, Halo style. It's fun, but it was definitely rough graphically. They have this ranking system. They're going to be adding more, I guess, talent points and leveling up down the road too. There's jump pads in the game. There's like this Renaissance fairy tale vibe going on.
Really?
It has the same sort of stuff with the wall moving in, but the map seems smaller. It moves a lot quicker. It's a bit more arcade feeling, like I said, especially being first person with the futuristic weapons. But I had fun.
The weapons don't look that futuristic to me, though.
Well, there's like some of them were like, I guess they're the typical classic weapons, but with like a futuristic look and take to everything you're doing. Like I said, there's jump pads in the game,
right? And
you're under like a dome, and you can like jump really high, and you move really fast, and it almost feels like you can sort of double jump because you're kind of flying around. Like it's a lot more fast paced and way more arcadey. And it's definitely rough right now, but I kind of was playing and I played for a couple of hours and I was like, wow, this is fun. And I just kept queuing and kept queuing and kept queuing. So I guess right now, if you want to play this game, you're sort of shit out of luck. You could have kickstarted it.
Right.
But there were like they sold out on the $25 ones first, then the $50, then the $150, and then it was like $200 to get into play. So like now I think you just have to wait for early access if you want to get in.
Well, I'm wondering if we can play again once the servers come back up.
Right. When the servers come back up, we can probably play. But it's going to be, like I said, another 100-player Battle Royale. I really feel like Battle Royale has taken over. It has totally ruined
genre.
kind of. It's a genre. It's what we think of, multiplayer shooters at this point. I think there's going to be a lot of copycats, a lot of battle royales coming out, even though they're not new, but they're just getting a lot of attention recently. So I had a good time with it. I believe it's going to be PC only, but you never know. It might show up on Xbox too. That seems to be the trend sometimes. Is what we learned over E3 is how things have been going. So wanted to mention really quickly, I've been watching House of Cards, and I know every season that I watch it, there's like a game featured every year. It was Monument Valley, and then it was that bubble game, like the Argo game. This year they heavily featured Samsung Gear VR, like a shooter that the presidential elect was playing, which I thought was kind of interesting how they sort of have tracked like the pulse of what gaming is, right? It started off where they were showing console stuff, then they went to mobile stuff, and now they went to mobile VR. So I just thought I wanted to mention that. It's funny how every season they feature gaming stuff. So I thought that was interesting.
Whose idea do you think that is?
I don't know. Kevin Spacey was involved with Call of Duty, right?
Right.
And he's the producer. Maybe he feels like maybe he's a gamer. Maybe he feels like he's got to get gaming involved somehow. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. I love watching for like gaming Easter eggs whenever I'm watching TV shows. I know there's tons of shows that do them, obviously Silicon Valley and all the other shows that I watch. So also I wanted to mention that Lawbreakers is having a Rise Up event June 28th, goes to July 2nd. I have been giving out beta codes. I have another one I'm going to give out live on the air. Right now I'm going to paste it in chat. So it's first come, first serve. So if you guys want to grab it live, grab it. If not, come watch our YouTube channel and grab it at youtube.com/VGOcast. Okay, I am just drinking water. John, I tried to move really quick because I want to talk about E3.
Yeah,
what did you play?
Well, I was in Atlanta over the weekend, and I brought my Switch with me.
Okay.
And really quick, I just want to talk about Atlanta because I actually was involved in something pretty cool over the weekend. And it's on my YouTube channel, John's Arcade. My friend Alex in the UK, who's a big Nintendo collector, really super cool dude, too. just a 2-second story. He found a really rare PCB. It's a one-of-a-kind Nintendo game that was never released. Actually, okay, are you done?
E3 show, and you're talking about a PCB.
Yeah, I am, actually.
Okay.
This is actually a big deal. This was
okay.
Actually, my video was picked up by Nintendo Life and Go Nintendo. It's actually getting a lot of coverage in the news and shit. So he found this game that was never released by Nintendo. It's called Sky Skipper. Nintendo has the only cabinet inside Redmond, Washington. He hooked up with Whitney from Broken Token. They went to Nintendo. This is what's cool, though, is that Nintendo is such a closed company. They usually don't support the community in any way. They actually let these guys go to Redmond, Washington, and scan the only existing cabinet that exists, all the artwork, and then they reproduced it and then made another cabinet, and we unveiled that at E3. Actually, not at E3. They unveiled it at the Atlanta show, and I got to document the whole weekend. And so if you guys go to my YouTube channel, you can see what I'm talking about. But if you've seen like games like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. and Popeye and all that, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's badass. So that was a really cool thing. But anyway, going to Atlanta,
yes.
I had my Switch, and I was actually very, very, very excited to play the Switch. And I'm going to tell you, the Switch really is the greatest handheld ever made, period. It's so fucking awesome for flying. It's just so great. The games are just so much better than anything that was on the 3DS or the Game Boy Advance and all the other things that we.
What games are you playing that you're enjoying?
Well, okay, so before I left, I wanted to buy something. I wanted to buy something new to play on the flight there. I kind of do this all the time, right? And so I picked up Thumper. And you.
Oh my god! I played that on Steam, a long time ago.
Why is that? Oh my god!
Because you had no interest in it.
That's
and made
true.
fun of me.
You're
a beetle. This looks stupid.
I never said that. I didn't say, "Oh, you're a beetle. This looks stupid."
Yes, you did.
I did not
say that.
I have it in print.
I have it in print.
No, I didn't.
But do you like it?
Yeah, actually, I really do like it. It looks terrific on the Switch, and I really mean that. It looks fucking great. And but Michelle. And by the way, if you guys missed it when Michelle talked about it, it's a rhythm game. It's kind of barely a rhythm game. I mean, like, it is a rhythm game, but it's not like where you're pressing the buttons like 4 on the floor to beats and shit. Like, it's very like subliminal, the beats. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's not as in your face as it should have been.
No,
in
it's
my
not.
opinion.
And the thing is, I don't know if that's a knock against it or not. But I was expecting the music to be more like obvious, like where the beats are. And it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's very subliminal, but you do lock into it and you do get it. But it's like the world is so surreal and there's boss battles and shit.
Yeah.
And
it got a little boring.
Well, I
like the game. The bosses aren't really bosses.
Yeah, they are. What are you talking about?
Not really. They're just there's not boss battles. All you do is perform a move and then the boss dies. Like they're not. Well, no matter what, you're going along the track.
Well, the thing is, your weapon is rhythm, right? So if you do the challenge it gives you, it launches an attack at the boss, right? And so you have to go through all these different sequences, and each one you complete launches a missile or whatever at the boss. And I found the game to be extremely challenging. Like, it gets really fucking hard.
I didn't find that. I was using a controller, but I'm wondering if it's because you were doing it mobily.
No, I don't think so at all. I was using a controller too. I mean, did you get to like the second world?
Oh yeah, I played for hours.
Okay.
I got pretty far.
I thought it was pretty challenging.
11th or 12th.
No, the second world.
Yeah, I'm saying I probably got to like the 11th or 12th world, if I remember.
Each world has like 20 levels inside of it.
Yeah, I know. I think I almost passed the game.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
John, I played this for like weeks on end.
Well, it's cool. And I did think that it was getting very challenging. And you can see here's a thread on Giant Bomb. Is it
or
me?
Maybe you don't have rhythm.
Is it me or is this game very hard? It's hard. I thought the game was very challenging. I really did like the game, though. I would recommend this for $20. I think it's pretty solid. And it's definitely great on the Switch. And the one thing I liked about it, too, is that you can crank the volume up. like within the game. It's almost like the game lets you make it louder than the Switch can actually go.
Right. They sort of wanted you to play really loud, and they knew that you were going to get limited by whatever you were on.
The Switch's volume, right? So like I had the Switch's volume cranked, and I had my earphones like just shoved deep inside my ears, and like I always wanted it to be loud enough, and then all of a sudden I go into the options, and there's a volume slider, and it wasn't all the way up, and I cranked it, and all of a sudden it was louder than anything I've ever played on my Switch. So I don't know if they're like kind of hacking the Switch or something.
Well, I think that's important. Playing this game like without earphones on, really loud, would take away from the game
because the music is very subtle. The little beats that are in there. So I don't know.
I like rhythm games. I really do, and I thought this was good. I just felt like there was so much more potential they could have done. I don't know.
It's a cool game, though. I totally recommend it. And then, okay, I got back to Zelda. And
yeah, but you didn't do the dungeon. That was your goal.
Okay, well, I'm gonna explain to you my entire experience playing Zelda from Atlanta back home on the plane. Okay, I wasted at least an hour trying to climb a mountain.
Okay,
because I was going to the Divine Beast, right? The one that was closest to where I was, okay? And it happened to be on top of a mountain. And it was raining, Michelle. And it would not stop raining, Michelle.
Right.
And I was determined to get to this Divine
Well, that was
Beast.
one of your original complaints, was that the rain was annoying and that you shouldn't have to stand there an hour when it's raining.
And the thing is, the Divine Beast I was going to, I don't know.
I told you to go do the one I did because I knew you would never complete it.
Oh, shut
with
up.
The sand and the spinning
I'm gonna
puzzles.
Complete this game.
You will never do that.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
The thing is, you don't understand. I actually have a history of playing Zelda. I mean,
this game is not like other Zelda games.
Yes, it is.
It's not. And the dungeons are not really dungeons. They're just big puzzles. Or at least the one I did.
Well, anyway, I wasted at least an hour trying to climb.
But why didn't you just stop and wait till the rain ended and then go back?
Because where I was rained. That's just where I was in the world. Like it was this scary, dark place with like this castle on the top and this giant wall of some sort. I don't even know because I never made it up there. And it was just an area where I think it just always rained and it never stopped raining. I think it was just for effect of where I was. And I just kept climbing and climbing and falling, climbing and falling, climbing and sliding. And I'm like, okay, I'll go over here. And basically after a fucking hour, I realized I have accomplished nothing in this game, right? And then I'm like, all right, I'm going somewhere else. So I warped back to Kakaru Village, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yes.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave here and just go somewhere I've never gone before. And then I found a shrine. Oh, by the way, this fucking guy. I hate this guy right here. So then I went to.
Guy?
He's on my screen. So then I go to a shrine.
Not for me yet. Yeah.
So I go to this shrine, and again, I wasted like an hour in the shrine. I couldn't figure it out, and then and then the plane landed. Right. So
yeah, old Cranky says blame it on the rain.
So here I am. Like I played Zelda for like 2 hours on the plane nonstop, and I accomplished fucking nothing. Right. And then but the thing is, I'm still thinking about Zelda. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna try out Mixer. Which are we gonna talk about Mixer at all? So I tried out Mixer. I tried out Mixer, which is Microsoft's new streaming thing. Oh my god! Thanks, Bear.
Thank you, Bear.
So I tried out Mixer, which is Microsoft's new streaming thing, and it's not bad. Mixer. I mean, it works. I thought the video quality was pretty all right.
They had a nice, like, no latency instant kind of chat thing too. But
yeah, well, that's the thing. They have some kind of proprietary, like, what do you want to call it? Codec or something that is literally zero latency. And like the minute you say something, it's on the stream. The minute you type something, it's on the stream. The minute someone chats, it's in my video. And
Yes.
it's way quicker than YouTube or Twitch. And
I like that. I did like that. What I didn't like was how closed off it felt. There's really nobody there.
right.
You know what I mean? And they kind of force you, if you want to do the double streaming thing where you and me together, they force you to have to use the Windows 10 stream thing. So they're not letting like what everybody else does. You know, you can't just plug it in and go. You have to use their proprietary stuff.
Right. Yeah, but yes, you do. I guess you do to a degree. But I thought the technology was pretty good. But it's like someone like Jose said something like they have all the great technology and it all works good, but no one cares. It's like
exactly. Well, I mean, Dee says Mixer isn't bad, but the way Microsoft has pushed it has been a pain in the ass, and people notice that shit.
Yeah. Well, they're shoving it down everyone's throat on Xbox One. Right.
They're forcing, instead of making it a nice option, they literally take away on Xbox. You can't stream on YouTube anymore. So
no, you never could stream on YouTube. You used to be able to stream on Twitch. And and the thing is, on Xbox One, streaming on Twitch was built in. It was the default option to stream.
And
right?
now it's hard to do. So
and
I feel
now
like
it's buried. Right. Now they buried it. You have to launch a separate app. The app loses focus. You can't see the chat. It sucks now on Xbox One. And before it was great.
Well, this is where they're moving. They are moving to everybody has to use it, and this is the only option unless you do a capture card off your PC. So, yeah.
Right, for Xbox One.
Yep.
And by the way, you can use your streaming software with Mixer. You don't have to use the Windows 10 built-in
But
shit.
not if you're doing the double streaming like we wanted to do, where we could see both of our screens, the co-sharing.
The co-stream.
People could click around, right.
Yeah, the co-stream.
Yep.
So, like I used XSplit to stream with my Elgato. Actually, a lot of people have been asking what I use to capture my Switch with. I have an Elgato Capture HD, whatever. I think it works pretty well. So anyway, I streamed some more Zelda. I wanted to play more Zelda, and then all of a sudden I was able to finish that shrine. Like instantly, it made sense to me. But I'm not gonna lie, Michelle. I'm kind of back in the mode with the Zelda shit. I'm into it.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen.
Why?
I want you to go to the first dungeon that I did, and if you can complete that dungeon, I'll believe you. Right now, what you did was climb a mountain for an hour, and you're back into it? No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And then I tried fighting this guy right here. Where the fuck did he go? This stupid thing. Did you fight this thing on my screen? This guy's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't know. We're on a delay, so I'll have to believe you.
He's so fucking cool, though, this creature. He's like sleeping in the middle of the field. You walk up to him, and he just fucking chases you, and he's knocking down trees and picking them up.
Oh, I've seen that dude, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking cool. So other than that, I guess you and I played some PUBG last night. I was going to play that game. I already forgot that. For some reason, I can never think of the name of that fucking game. The one that's in alpha that we have keys for.
Well, we talked about it.
I know. I was going to play that, but we didn't. So I guess that's it for me. And I am drinking a Diet Rockstar.
Let's play a voicemail and then take a break.
All right, let's play a voicemail. 520 Feel VGO.
Hey, you fucks. You guys check out this E3. It was pretty shitty. But, John, you should talk about this retro hipster pixel game, The Last Night. Looks pretty dope. Also, bring back Ball Crush Eric. He should be the new host. Keep your assholes tight.
All right, so this is a message here about this retro hipster pixel game Last Night.
Yeah.
Which
did you see that? It showed up at a couple of
Runner.
different... Yeah, it showed up at a couple of different events. It showed up at the PC gaming show, the Xbox show, I think.
Yeah, it showed up on the Microsoft one.
Right.
I mean, it looks like we'll talk about it, but it's basically like a pixel stylized version of Blade Runner. It does look cool, though, you know? And
yeah.
Maybe we'll bring back Ball Crush Eric. We'll see.
Oh, my God. The voicemails are too quiet, Ghosty says.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
Yes. So we were supposed to pull a guest in like in a half hour, but I think what are we going to do? Do you just want to start like the E3 talk and then take our break?
Oh, I was thinking we'd take the break and just keep rolling then.
Okay. All right. We're going to take an early break then.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be right back, guys. John's going to play something for you. Yeah, it did look like Flashback, Ted. That's what I was thinking, that game.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too, actually. All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. All right, I'm back. You there? Testing. Hello.
I'm here.
Okay. Weird.
All right. So I think we have 3 more voicemails to go. Do you want to see if NES Jackson wants to come in, or do you want to
Yeah.
start without him? I know I told him like 10, but...
By the way, I want to thank people that sent the donations tonight. It was Bear.
Yep. Bear from South Carolina.
And DJ Slanky.
And G Slanky, who are both big supporters, I know,
Yes.
of you, John, over at John Sucks at Video Games and John's Arcade. So thank you guys. We appreciate it.
And by the way, I met Bear from South Carolina and his wife at the show, and they were wearing VGO shirts.
Yes, we tweeted that over on twitter.com/VGOcast.
That awesome?
If you want to check that out. VGO Podcast. Yeah. It was awesome. They look great, and it was cool that they got the shirts. I didn't have no clue.
Yeah, it was totally cool. All right, so let me pull this character in.
Character.
What's his name?
I'm not sure what his Skype name is. No. NES. D Jackson, is it? Yeah. D Jackson is NES Jackson.
Oh, Derrick? Okay.
He's ready at any time, he says. We're going to get into quickly what he's playing and then go right into E3.
All right, hang on. I'm calling him. Okay. I added him to the call. Derrick, are you there? Derrick. Derrick.
Hey.
Ooh. You just
can you guys hear me?
We hear you, but just make sure you mute us in the background, and then John's going to check your levels, and I think we're good to go.
Derrick, say something.
Can you hear me?
I can't. Are you using like a walkie-talkie?
No. I'm sorry. Is it a little clear now?
I think you're a little louder than John is for me.
I think that you're breaking up. You're too loud.
Yeah. Maybe just pull the mic off your mouth just a little.
It's distorting a little bit.
Is that a little better?
That's way better. Okay.
Much better.
All right, let's do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, boom. All right, so we're going to dive into it here. And by the way, we have Derrick joining us. Derrick Jackson, is that right?
That's correct.
So, Derrick, real quick, tell us about yourself. We're going to just jump into the E3 shit, by the way. Did you watch all this?
Yeah, I watched from EA Play Saturday when I got off of work. The Microsoft conference on Sunday, obviously. I watched a little bit of, what was it? Was Bethesda Sunday night?
Yeah, I think we're just going to go over like the major 3 or 4 tonight, and then we're going to do like some of the, but we're going to definitely want your opinion. But what are you playing really quickly that maybe we don't talk about, or what you're into right now before we jump into E3?
Like John, I'm playing on a lot of MLB The Show. I love baseball.
Okay.
Playing Black Ops 2, the 360 version on the Xbox One.
Okay, tell me. Wait. Stop. So I noticed that. So that's forwards compatible now, and
backwards. Yeah.
Well, it's forwards compatible to the Xbox One, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute! Don't rub the mic on your crotch.
Yeah, just keep your mic in one spot, please.
Yeah. We're hearing a lot of static, like with mic rubbing.
Don't touch your mic. All right, so is Black Ops 2 worth playing on the Xbox One right now?
I mean, it's my favorite Call of Duty game. You know, to me it is, you know, for nostalgic purposes, I guess. I play a lot of zombies and I play a lot of the campaign.
Right.
I'm not too heavy into multiplayer, just to be honest with you, but I mean, I enjoy it.
Cool. Anything else you're playing?
I played the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Story demo. They released that like in the PlayStation Store right after the conference last night.
Was it good?
And it is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Based on what you guys had said about Prey, I started playing the Prey demo, so the first hour demo. So I'll probably pick that up in this near future.
Cool. All right, man. Well, why don't we, Michelle? Why don't we just dive right into E3? Okay, because
yes,
and we're gonna
there's
go.
a lot I want to talk about.
Yeah, and we're gonna basically go through Microsoft and then Sony and actually Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony in that order, right?
Well, the order that they played. So
Okay,
Microsoft,
Sony,
Sony, Nintendo. Then we'll talk about PC Gamer Show if we want at the end, and then we'll do like all the other stuff during our bonus show tonight.
All right, so let's kick off here with Microsoft. So, so Microsoft's E3 conference, the very first thing they talk about is the thing that we've been calling Scorpio. And it is now called Xbox One X.
A lot of people don't like the name. But I guess they figured Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, right?
Right. And
yeah.
And the big news here. Okay, and by the way, I mean
what, the price, right?
Well, yes, of course, the price is very big news. I mean, and also they dropped the price of the Xbox One to $250, I think it is, the regular one.
Okay.
So basically, I'm trying to find the price points here. I put it in VGO News. They dropped the Xbox One S. They cut the price by $50, so it's like $249 now, I think.
Yeah.
So basically, you have the Xbox One S for $249, and then you have the Super Deluxe one, which is basically a 4K machine. They're claiming for $500.
And they're really pushing this. Everybody was wearing these shirts that said, "I witnessed the most powerful console launch." T-shirts. Yes. They brought out a new Porsche for Forza. Like they were they were all about being big, going big, 4K, right?
Yes.
They featured Mixer a lot, which we talked about. How they're mimicking Twitch, and one of the big highlights for me was that PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, is coming exclusively to Xbox for the first year. Now it may come to PlayStation after that, but that was really big news. I was excited for my friends.
Why are you jumping ahead to that?
Because I'm going in the order of my impressions, and I don't want to read some list like you're doing. I'd rather give our impressions. Wait. Stop rubbing the mic on your crotch or your lapel.
But I mean, the thing is, I want to talk more about Xbox One X because I kind of
I do too.
This is a big deal here.
I was going to bring it around to it. I'm just saying, like, I think instead of you reading GameSpot's impressions, let's talk about our impressions.
I know, we're still talking about Xbox One X. So
I know, but I wanted to just go over, like, I wanted to get stuff off my chest of, like, kind of what I thought of it and then dive back into it. And I thought you could do that too. I know, because I watched the whole thing and I watched it live. So there's just a lot of, like, little highlights that I wanted to mention. But, okay, I can't do this with that noise, though. Do you want to start this over and not have, mute or something? Have him mute when he's not talking, John?
Okay, Eric,
Derrick.
Can you hear? Is it like
yeah?
AC on, but that'd probably be what you hear because everything is muted. Like TVs, tablets, everything's muted. So I don't know.
We're hearing that. I don't know if you have a bad cord, but we're hearing a lot of static. Yeah.
All right, Derrick. I don't know if we can do this. To be honest,
we're gonna have to let you go, but unless you can figure it out. But I mean, we'll keep your part in where you introduced yourself and told us what you were playing. But I mean, I don't know if you can hear what we're hearing on the stream, but it's like this really loud rubbing noise, like every couple of seconds.
No idea what it is because like I muted the YouTube video and everything. I have no idea what it is.
Definitely coming from your mic. It's either a bad mic. Do you have a USB mic?
It's an audio jack. Hold on 1 second. I'll switch.
Well, we're gonna edit anyway, right? We're gonna edit the podcast. Well, you sound okay, but I don't know if it's gonna start again.
Oh no, I took it out. I just went with the internal mic.
Okay, that's
better.
That sounds okay to me, John. What do you think?
Okay.
John's such a dick.
I know. It's just that it's all this fucking momentum's just lost here. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Boop.
Are we starting? What are we doing?
I don't know. This is fucking stupid.
We're
5.
Gonna edit. Wait. Okay, we're gonna edit when he said what he was talking about.
I don't know. The whole flow of this is fucking wrong. All right, here we go.
John,
5, 4.
Good job. Okay.
All right.
Okay, relax, John.
Okay. All right, listen. We're gonna fucking go over the goddamn motherfucking list. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Follow the GameSpot list.
The thing is, we're talking about the fucking Xbox One X, and all of a sudden, we're talking about other stuff.
Are we talking about our impressions? Or are we talking about fucking GameSpot's impressions?
I'm not. This isn't games. I was talking about Xbox One X. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't reading GameStop's anything.
GameSpot.
I know. I wasn't reading anything they were saying. I was trying to talk about Xbox One X.
Right, and so was I. All right. whatever. Let's start over.
5, 4, 3, 2, boop. All right, so why don't we just kind of dive right into E3?
That's right. We're going to talk about Xbox first, then PlayStation, then Nintendo, then PC.
Okay, so all right, we're going to do these in the order they happened. The Microsoft event was first, okay? And what was interesting about the Microsoft event compared to the Sony event is they just went right for the throat right off the bat, right? They said, here it is. This is the big fucking announcement. And it was basically the thing that we've been calling Scorpio, and it's the Xbox One X. And Michelle, what did you think about this?
Well, a lot of people already were attacking the name, I guess, because Xbox One and then Xbox One S and then Xbox One X. A lot of people said it didn't roll off the tongue, and I don't really, people were obsessing over that. But I have a different perspective watching the Xbox presentation, than the first time I watched it. Then after I watched the others, my feelings on it completely changed.
Yes.
So John, you might think I'm crazy, but I thought this was the best presentation we saw.
Are we voting right now? What is going on?
Well,
we don't vote now. Wait. You just ruined the whole fucking thing.
Oh my fucking God. All right, well, let's start fucking over. You're being so fucking picky. Start over.
There's a flow here. We got a flow.
Okay. All right.
There's
a
build up.
I don't know what I guess I can't express myself. I can't share what I thought about it.
We're gonna break it all. We're gonna break it all down. We're gonna describe.
I can't share anything about it. I can't talk about anything. I can just read GameSpot's list. I can't share opinions.
Fucking.
Sorry.
All I did was say that they announced this
and then
first.
I tell you I'm excited and that I thought it was great and it was the best showing that I've seen, and you're like, we can't talk about it. Listen, let's just go through. Let's just not share our opinions.
I think it's important.
GameSpot.com.
Okay, listen. I think it's fucking important to note
okay.
That they announced this first.
Okay.
Because when we compare and contrast this with Sony,
but I was just about to talk about it.
But you go ahead and declare the fucking winner. It's like Siskel and Ebert saying, I'm Richard Roper. I'm reviewing a movie, and I give it 2 stars. Now let me tell you about the movie.
All right, we're not even going to have this in the podcast. So are we starting over or what?
No, we're not starting over. Go ahead. All right, you gave it 4 stars.
What? Ghosty says, keep this in the show. You know what? Fuck you. This is staying in the show.
Yeah.
I think it's the best. I was like, I don't want this fucking thing, even though I think it's a good price at $4.99. I have a PC. If I didn't have a PC, I would buy this. I think they had the best showing. I watched it twice because I was hyped for it. I thought they did a good job. I like how Phil Spencer came out.
5, 4, 3, 2, boop. All right, guys, we're going to jump into E3 2017.
What is happening? What is happening?
I don't know. I feel like we're being out of order.
Ted says you're being misogynist, talking down to a woman.
I am not.
John's the woman of the show, though, so that's not really fair. Are we keeping this in the show, John?
I don't know.
Worst E3 ever. What is fucking happening?
All right, so Xbox One. Why don't we move on to Sony?
Not moving on anywhere. So what we just talked about in the show or not? Why are you being so difficult and annoying?
I'm not being difficult.
Well, you're interrupting everything we do, and you have a problem with everything we do.
Well, the thing is, you announced the winner before we even went through all the conferences. That's not how we do this. There's a bit of history here.
There's a winner, there's a loser at the end. Vote 2 stars. I didn't realize.
Yes, that's how it works. You make your case, and then you say, and this is who I think won.
Bob says this is the best thing to come out of E3. This. It sounds like their parents arguing. This is entertaining. So I don't know what's going on. Let's talk about the Xbox One X. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's right, John.
All right.
People were wearing shirts. I witnessed the most powerful console launch. They were really pushing the 4K. They were dropping, the 8 million pixels.
Yes.
They were really pushing the power of this thing.
They were, and the thing is, my takeaway from the Xbox conference. Can I do that now?
I don't know. Are we going to talk about it in order as GameSpot shows it? And by the way, you have a great browser you show people, a frozen window with a mature plus intense violence, blood, and gore picture. Right. Great job, John. Great job.
So by the way, the thing I noticed right away with Xbox though, their message was games. 4K, 4K, 4K. I mean, that was the message, period.
Their message was exclusive. Like, they would say it, and then if you read the fine print, they would say, like, console exclusive or timed exclusive, but they kept saying exclusive.
The language they used was console launch exclusive, and it was on numerous things.
But not all of them, though, because they said that PUBG was a timed
No, it's
not, though, because it's coming out for PlayStation, apparently.
Right.
It comes to PlayStation later.
I know that they were calling it
not a console exclusive. Technically,
no, listen to me. The language was console launch exclusive. That's the language. It's a launch exclusive.
Jose says you're not letting me talk. You are matting Michelle, John. John's all pent up about this because he thought the Xbox conference was shit, and I liked it. And I think you're kind of.
That's not true.
Okay, you changed your opinion.
I never had What are you talking? You never knew my opinion about this.
Of course, I would have never known anything you've said before it. So, okay. So let's talk a little bit about Xbox One X, though, just before we move on. Like I was saying, I don't know if you're even keeping what I said in the show or not. But as a PC owner, it doesn't interest me. But if I didn't have a PC, I would buy this thing. Would you? You don't have a 4K TV, so
I don't. But listen, for $499, this thing.
I don't think you would buy it, though.
I don't think I would either. But this thing appears to be pretty awesome for $499. Derrick, what do you think?
I've got a 4K TV, so I'm going to try it out. I bought the PS4 Pro. I'm going to try it out. They kind of dropped the ball. I don't know if you guys knew, but like you can't even pre-order the thing yet because the FCC hasn't approved it for sale, apparently.
Interesting.
So, yeah, if there's a Polygon article that came out later that night, if you go to like Amazon or any of the retailers, it just says we'll email you when it's available. Right. And then Polygon did an article where it's like, no, they haven't. This FCC has not approved it for sale, and it's like that's kind of stuff you want to get done before you take that stage and go.
Well,
you know what I mean?
No.
That's really
Switch had the same problem, if you remember.
Okay.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did.
Well, that's kind of a low bar to compare yourself to, though.
No, I think
Nintendo has all sorts of problems.
You guys understand that they can't. FCC can't approve it until they have a production model, and it's probably going to come out a few months before launch. So they were saying the launch date was what? Was it October something? October 29th or November something? November.
I don't know, John. You have GameSpot list in front of you. Why don't you tell me what their GameSpot journalist felt about the show? Since we're not supposed to share.
So I think it was like I think it was like November 7th or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a Friday. I think Crackdown 3 releases the same week, and that's like one of the big titles they're kind of touting for it. But
right.
That doesn't run 4K 60 frames. It's 4K 30 frames. That's something else that came out afterwards. So
yeah. And John, you mentioned they're really pushing the games thing, and and I noticed I kept hearing a bunch cross-buy.
Yes.
What they're really pushing this time around
Windows 10
is
Store.
They are pushing Windows 10 Store. They are trying to be the PC for non-PC gamers, like 100%. They're pushing Mixer. They're talking about streaming, right? The only thing they didn't push was VR. Like, there's no mention of that, but they're definitely talking about all the different things that you can do on the Xbox. They're basically saying it's a PC except it's not, but for non-PC gamers. So I noticed some of the games, if we want to talk about them, Sea of Thieves we saw last year. Do you guys care about that game at all?
That's a hard pass.
I thought it looked kind of shitty.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's a rare game, and like I want to get it just because of that. But it looked bad. Like the characters look stupid. I was not feeling that at all. Like at all, which is a real shame.
I know. I was already down on it because any game that comes out for Windows 10 only, like the Windows Store only, I'm probably not going to pick up, and I don't think it's going to do that well. But maybe it'll do well on Xbox. I don't know. But they spent a lot of time on that game.
On Sea of Thieves?
Yeah,
I thought it looked better at last year's E3.
You know what I thought looked better was the dev kit, like draw up of Xbox One X itself. The new one is just a small black box, right?
It looks very boring.
It doesn't look very inspiring. It was just It's small though. It's like a little bigger than a controller from the angle they were showing it at. I mean, maybe twice the size of a controller. I couldn't really tell. It was like a curious angle, the picture that they shot. But it's like a small black box, very plain, and I thought they missed the mark there as far as what it looks like.
It just has
should have had like that FPS counter on the front, some screen, something like, and
little dolphin thing and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked kind of shitty, but as far as what's inside and for the price, I think they're taking maybe a little bit of a loss on the price just to get it back and selling for bulk, right? I think if you can do if you really can do a lot of games, not true 4K, but you're going to have them on low settings. But if they can really hit 60 FPS and they're really still going to be 4K and it's $500, I think it's priced appropriately. Do you think it's priced appropriately?
I think that price is fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be that low, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
I think they made the right move.
Not bad.
And by the way, they did announce that Gears of War 4, Forza Horizon 3, Killer Instinct, and Halo Wars 2 and Minecraft are all getting free patches to run at 4K.
Yes,
so they're going to be.
So they're saying games you own now, you don't have to buy new games. You can still get kind of 4K out of it. And they were almost trying to push it to, like, even if you don't have a 4K TV, hey, your games are still going to run better. They're going to look better. They're going to have better textures, which I don't know. For me, a lot of people have been asking me that don't have 4K TVs, do I buy this? And it's hard to say. Like, are you that serious of an Xbox gamer? If you don't have a 4K TV, I kind of feel like it's a pass. But when you upgrade to your 4K TV, if you have one,
I think
and
it's,
you are. I think.
But the thing is, though, okay, everything they showed looked fucking amazing. We just have to see this in real life, though. I don't trust anything I see at these things.
Of course not.
Right?
They were really pushing Forza. They brought out a Porsche, which you can see on my screen. And, they were talking about how it looks so great and it runs so great. And, of course, it's easy to make, a racing game kind of flow like that.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about some of the games. Like, okay, so Crackdown 3 is something that interests me, I think, because I really like.
When you talk about the games, can you tell us if they're an exclusive or a launch exclusive or a console exclusive or whatever?
Well, Crackdown is a Microsoft property, so it's exclusive. And Crackdown 1 was one of my favorite games ever. Like, I just loved that fucking game. And then Crackdown 2 came out and it was a piece of shit. It was horrible. And I think it's interesting that Microsoft is going back to the well with this one, because this has been kind of my critique of them all along, is that they're sitting on this original IPs. They have a lot of original IPs that they're just not using. And so they are here it is. Here's some IP they're sitting on. It's Crackdown 3. It looks like the same kind of open world shit. It looked kind of fun. It kind of looked okay. I don't know. Derrick, are you into Crackdown at all? Did you like it before?
I played Crackdown 2. I'm not like heavy into it. I don't know. Like, me and my friends, we were watching the conference and we were like, maybe this is one we pick up, maybe not. Who knows? It just, I'll have to see more gameplay. Like, it's cool they threw Terry Crews up there or whatever. But But like, show me the game. Like, show me more gameplay.
Right.
It's June. Like, we still got a while before it happens.
So the game that kind of impressed me the most, I think, was probably Metro Exodus.
Yeah, I thought this game looked pretty cool.
That looked amazing.
But like, what amazed me the most about the game was the contextual animations of the guy. Like, I can't believe it's really going to be like that. Like every little, like the way he was interacting with the environment, like from like how he picked up an arrow out of a dead thing and put it in his gun, to how that big bear thing chased him and he was negotiating.
But if this is going to be a big open world game like Fallout or Witch or something like that, you're not going to like this game, John. You don't play these types of games.
Well, I played Metro Last Light. Was that what it was called?
I think that was a bit different.
And I kind of really dug the world and just the way it felt. But I was genuinely impressed with the trailer of it, and I mean, I don't know. Would I buy this? Maybe. I mean, the game that I like, the BioWare game. I like the way that looked too. By the way, did you like that? The Anthem game.
Anthem.
Yeah.
The Destiny killer.
Yeah, it was very Destiny, wasn't it? I thought it was really cool when they left that little hub city and they had those suits on and shit. That looked pretty cool. Michelle, are you going to get that?
I don't know yet. I mean, I'm having a hard time like following what's really coming out like for PC as well. I have an Xbox, but I honestly don't touch it, and I don't know if I'm going to, if something comes out for the Windows 10 store and I really had to play it, I would get it there first. So I'm having a hard time like really following like this Exodus game says Metro game coming to the store on Windows 10 and Xbox One.
Right.
So does that mean this will never show up on Steam anywhere? Like I'm just having a hard time kind of following what exclusive really means these days.
Right. And that was the message over and over again. Like every time they show a game, text will show up on the screen, available in the store. Like
right.
It wasn't,
and a lot of them, like I said, were cross-buy, which I think is great for people who own both and want to play on both. And I think that they're really going to be pushing that more and more. So Anthem is also for PC, Jose says as well. So yeah, I mean, if it's available for PC, I'm definitely more likely to get it. If it's on Steam, I'm more likely to get it. If it's only on Windows 10, it better be just fucking amazing for me to get it. And I know I'm not alone there. Like, that's the way I think the majority of people feel who think, like, I don't know, PC gamers that don't have an Xbox.
So okay, so
it's a new IP, and like,
okay,
if Destiny 1, I was not really behind. I'm just like, I don't know. And my friends were like, no, get it, we'll play. And then, like, I did not play it. Like, I took a $60 loss on that. And then I saw Destiny 2. I was like, it looks great, but I'm probably not going to play it. And then the more I watched, I was like, this is interesting. I might actually buy this. Yep. So this is like the Destiny kill. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to pick one or the other. It's like Call of Duty or Battlefield last year. I'm going to pick one or the other. I'm probably not going to buy both of them.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that Assassin's Creed Origins came out and did a really long segment here. Like, this is a game I don't associate being necessarily Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be out for everything, but they took the time to really focus here. Do you think you'll ever return to this game, John, being in Egypt? Did you like the looks of any of it?
I mean, yeah, I did like the way it looked. I mean, did they show it because of the 4K shit? Is that why?
Maybe. I think they're going to be really pushing, like, looks best on Xbox One X, right?
I think that's why.
Yeah.
Had God, what's his Phil Spencer or one of the guys up there on IGN afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, all your third-party games are going to look better on the One X." So like, they're at as hard as they can right now. Like, we don't care about exclusive titles or if PlayStation's cranking out better stuff. Oh, Call of Duty and Battlefront 2, all that's going to look better on the Xbox One X. That's what they're saying. Like, we don't have great first-party stuff. Not saying that they don't, but it's like, how many times can you give me Halo in some different form or Gears of War?
Right, but everybody was saying, I kept seeing over and over, 22 exclusives. Microsoft had the most exclusives, 22 exclusives.
Mm-hmm. But they've added, I think, like, what he's saying, though, is correct. Like, they've added another kind of ace up their sleeve, because now they can say, hey, if you don't have a PC, which is a lot of gamers, you know what? This is your decision now. This is going to look the best it can look now on Xbox One X. PlayStation Pro, it does not have true 4K, and so there's a lot of people kind of angry about that. I heard there's a lot of divide. I know Sean on Twitter has been telling me that even with some other announcements, and I know if we want to talk about that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is coming exclusively to Xbox. Of course, it's on PC, but first for a year. And so there's a lot of people who have PlayStations that are really pissed off about it.
We don't know if it's a year, though. We don't.
Well, they said in 2018 or that Xbox has it or something like that. After that, it may come, or they said like exclusive 2018 launch or something. They're not really, but PlayStation made no mention of it at all, though.
It's coming out this year.
Right.
Not 18. PlayerUnknown Battleground is coming out this year.
But they
holiday release, I believe they said.
Right.
Yeah, it's a launch console exclusive, meaning it's going to launch on Xbox One first. Now, keep in mind, Call of Duty is also a launch console exclusive for PS4, and they only get it for the first month. All that shit, right?
Right. So, but I don't really know what it means. It seems like I was surprised that, like, they didn't bring the guy out for the Sony conference at all to say, he didn't come out there and be like, hey, my game's coming to your system too.
Because they gave that guy a check. That's why.
Right. But that's a huge deal right now, though, because we know people personally who are like, oh my God, when's this game coming to consoles? I'll buy whatever console I need, or what do I have to do? And Microsoft is the one that made the big stink out of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds coming there first, and they're getting it first. And, I didn't think they did a really good job of explaining, though, like, what the game was. They showed like some footage, but they didn't say, the number one game on PC right now for multiplayer, in Battle Royale game where you drop in from the sky and collect stuff and kill people, one of 100. They didn't say any of that. They just like kind of assumed that the people in the audience knew, and they were just like, here's some footage, it's coming. And I thought it was kind of awkward, but I thought that was really major news that you guys, out there that have been waiting to play are now going to get to play this game.
Right. And supposedly it's October or something, which means that the game's going to be done then too, right? So
might be, or maybe they're going to get it early access.
I don't think so. No way. I think the game will be done by then. It's got to be. It's November, Chase is saying.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's a pretty big deal they announced that. I think it's pretty cool. I don't really believe the message of it, though. I'm reading into it. I think it's going to be just for this year, and it's going to be exclusive for the holiday, and that's it. I guarantee you it's on PS4 in January.
Right. I mean, he'd be crazy, you know,
He'd
the
be
developer
crazy.
not
He's
to
leaving
bring,
money
bring
on
it
the table,
everywhere.
right?
Right. It depends how much
The
they want to
install
pay him,
base.
though.
The install base is huge for Sony versus what it is for Microsoft.
Well, actually, I heard that's not really true as far as if you look at USA only, that Xbox like is pretty much on par with the amount of people. I don't know if that's true. I have to follow up. They said when you consider globally, which of course you have to, but maybe it's just that nobody wants Xbox in Europe or Asia. But yeah, it's I think in America though, this idea that Sony is kicking Microsoft's ass as far as like multiplayer gaming, I don't think is correct.
Right.
I think as far as like the base of who's going to play PUBG, if it's really truly, if people that I know at least really truly pick up PlayStation for the great single player exclusives and they do Xbox for multiplayer. John, I know you disagree with that, but I feel like PUBG may have more success on Xbox than PlayStation, but I could completely be wrong.
It feels more like an Xbox crowd game to me.
It does. It definitely does. So I'm just glad that console users are going to get to play the game. All right, what other games did you guys see?
Well, I mean, the other stuff that was announced didn't really float my boat at all, right? I didn't even care about it. Minecraft, blah, 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 is getting crossplay with Nintendo Switch. State of Decay 2 is probably the other big game.
Yeah.
As soon as I see these fucking zombies, I shut down. It's just too much of this
There's
shit.
so many zombie games.
There's so many.
I know.
So many.
It's just over and over and over and
post-apocalyptic.
over and over. I mean,
What's the Darwin Project? I noticed with this, when I talked about they're really pushing like that they're the PC for non-PC gamers. The Darwin Project is basically has an interactive kind of thing that works with Mixer, which is a lot like Dota. So for esports, like you can watch like two different people play and click around on their screens and like interact with the game. Like I guess people who are watching people play the Darwin Project can literally get into the game and control the characters. Like I think what we got a glimpse at is the future of what they plan for Mixer. And the plan for Mixer is going to be basically, hey, you can all all stream together, all interact together. And I don't know if it's going to take off, but like what other, like as far as what other like options console users have, like they can't hop on and use a lot of the things that PC gamers can. Like I think Mixer and like this Darwin Project game could end up doing very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that at all, John.
I don't remember seeing that, to be honest.
Okay. I have it up now on my screen. But it was like
that thing with the esports guy announcing it.
It's all esports. Like you can flip around from player to player. Like you can kind of watch everybody's different screens. Like that's like how Dota is, right? And that's why Dota was built from the ground up to be broadcasting, like a broadcasting game. Like I just feel like if they do this with every game, like imagine getting to go watch your friends stream a bunch of games and getting to click on all their different kind of camera angles. I think that they should just run with it.
I think
so. You were uninspired then, John.
No, I saw that. I saw that it was like a Dota type game, and there was an esports guy, and I fast forwarded past it.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is not me.
Well, Dota is the only like the number one game in the world, but so I feel like I just noticing that Microsoft once again tapping into that, right?
Right.
Tapping in once again, like, hey, what you can do on the PC, we're going to try to let you do here. Like we've got these games too. It was just interesting to me.
So, all right, in closing, let's see if you have anything else to discuss. I mean, there was a bunch of indie shit that was announced that was part of the ID. Yeah. All the ID games are getting thrown into that list of 22, by the way, that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, they
are. But, I'm looking at this list, though, and I'm not seeing any real serious exclusives that are blowing me away. It's literally
I think the exclusives era is over.
I think it is, too. I think the message here, basically, for Microsoft is, listen,
yeah,
we got Windows, we got Xbox. It's the same.
Jose says Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest.
I know.
Cuphead. That shit crazy for Ori. For the
people love Ori, like it's beloved, but this is going to come out on Steam too, I'm sure. But once again, will this come out on PlayStation? Yeah, so it's not really an exclusive. I don't know.
And the thing is, everyone's losing their shit about Cuphead's a platformer that looks like old timey Mickey Mouse shit. It's like
you're one to talk. Everybody's losing their shit though, John, over some old school shit. You've got a basement full of arcade machines.
No, it's not. No. It looks like Steamboat Willie, the animation style, not retro.
I know, but I'm
very
saying
stylized.
Like you can't.
No,
right.
I don't know if the game's good. Everyone's losing their shit over the art style. So
okay, but if that might appeal to them, though, like I mean, to me it doesn't. But maybe some people are really excited about it. Apparently, a lot of people I know that have Xboxes are excited about Cuphead. I don't get it.
Okay, so then why are you yelling at me?
Because I don't get any of those types of games. I don't really play retro shit.
It's just like it's a platformer, and it's been, how long has this game been in development? They showed this at E3
Yes,
2 years ago.
I agree. Yeah.
I know, but it's
we're
all
seeing
about
that trend at all of them, right? It's like, oh, we saw this last year. Oh, this again?
Last year, yeah, you know.
Right.
I don't know. Cuphead to me.
Ori is not on PlayStation, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is a huge game, though. We can't.
How about Life is Strange? That seems like something you'd like.
That's weird.
The episodic thing, no?
No, I didn't like it. I played it on Steam.
Episode 1 of the first one, and I was just like, okay, it's like SquareSoft's answer to like Telltale games. Like, the decisions you make have an effect on the outcome. It's like, okay, so I've seen this already a million times over in the Telltale universe, which I'm not mad at, but it wasn't very inspiring.
All right. I know a lot of people love this game. I just couldn't get into it.
Okay, so in closing, of all the games, is there one single game that you're excited to get and play?
For the One X?
Yeah, or for just the Xbox in general.
Oh, man.
Because I'm looking at the list, and...
Maybe Forza 7?
I'm having a hard time.
Well, I'm looking at the list, and I can say this because I'm talking to people who don't have PCs, which is probably the majority of our listeners, and I think it's PlayerUnknown's Battleground. I think that's huge news and a huge exclusive, or timed exclusive, to not ignore.
That's big for people who want to play PUBG. That is huge. You're right.
I think people don't even know about this game yet. They don't even know about Battle Royale. They haven't been playing H1Z1. They haven't been playing Arma mods. This Battle Royale shit is going to, I think, take over multiplayer gaming for a bit. On the console as well. And I think that is a huge kind of thing to say that, oh, they had nothing exciting, I think is wrong. I think it's people I know. I've had people that I used to play Xbox with, like, reach out to me and tell me about this game, be like, I want to play this game. Like, you know what I mean? I think, John, us being PC gamers, we don't get it. But there's people who have Xboxes that want to try this game and want to try Battle Royale, and now they can, and I think they're kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't really think Microsoft owns this topic, though. I think it's very limited. I think this is a very... so it's a console launch exclusive in late 2017. The wording suggests it may also come to PlayStation 4.
But I don't think they really are in the position this year where they have to own any exclusives. They have the most powerful console this year. So, like,
but if there's no fucking games to play on it, I mean,
there are games. They don't necessarily have to be exclusives, though. They're going to look and play better on that machine.
I know, that's why I'm asking you. So what is the game besides PlayerUnknown Battleground, though, which isn't new and exciting? It is exciting for the console people, but I mean,
we just talked about Cuphead. It's not for me, but
it sounds like they didn't really announce much of anything.
I think they did announce a lot of stuff.
Then what? Tell me.
Because every game they talk about is like, if it's coming to their system, then it's going to play the best on their system. So that is exciting for Xbox owners. The fact that you basically games you already own are going to be upgraded, I think was good. I mean, Metro, to me, is that coming out for PlayStation?
I think that's...
Yes, Metro comes out to PlayStation in 2018.
Right. So all these, like, they're all timed, right?
Yes.
But as far as, like, I would have to say, like, that game looked interesting to me. Metro Exodus.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
And then Anthem is coming to... So Anthem is not an exclusive.
I just feel like exclusives are just losing meaning. Like, what do they mean anymore?
I don't know. I mean...
it's an arms race. It's like the streaming wars in music, where it's like Tidal versus Apple Music versus Spotify. It's like, who are we going to pay the most? Who's going to pay us the most money to have this on their stage?
Right.
And it's going to come to the other platform later. So, like, in the case of, like, Call of Duty or Destiny, you're going to get the DLC first on Sony. But, like, not to say you're not still going to... People are still going to buy it in numbers on Xbox.
I'm just looking at it from my perspective, too. Like, when you tell me, why do you play PC games? It may not even necessarily be for the PC exclusives, although that's really important. I play them because I have freedom, because they look the best, they play the best. So when I look at, like, how the Xbox showing, to me, I think that gives them a one-up, like, for what makes these games exciting. Like, look how good, like, Metro Exodus looked, right? Knowing that game might look and play better on that console, even though you can get it a year later on PlayStation. If I didn't have a PC, I would still buy it there because it's coming out sooner. And so timed exclusives might as well be exclusives at this point for me, because, like, people are so impatient these days, right? 6 months, a year, they want to wait for that. If you really want to play PUBG, are you going to wait a year to get it on PlayStation or 6 months?
I don't think it's going to be a year though. There's nothing says a year. It's just exclusive this year.
But the fact that Sony didn't even come out and say and even make mention of it, I don't think it's even on their radar. They care. I just feel like, I just don't. I don't think that. I think that they should have.
Right.
I think that Sony is completely ignoring what everybody else is doing and just talking about their own shit. Whereas Xbox is really going after, I think, specifically
I'm looking
PC
right here.
or Nintendo.
E3 2017, new Metro game Exodus confirmed for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And then at the same time, the BioWare game is also coming for all three.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's talk about Sony. Let's talk about their powerful exclusives and what kind of they did.
Well, I mean, the thing is, so really, PUBG is the only Xbox game that was.
No, that's not what I said. I said I would buy Metro Exodus.
Okay. Because
PUBG is not an exclusive either. I think a lot of people are excited for Cuphead. I personally am not. Ori and the Blind Forest is the sequel. I think that's a huge game.
Right. All right, so Michelle and I watched the Sony thing live last night, and we kind of did some live commentary over it. So
yes, if you want to know more about like what we felt about the Sony conference, go to our YouTube page, and we watched the whole thing live and talked over it.
And so Microsoft's big takeaway for me was 4K and games, right? And really that was very deliberate. I mean, when you compared their message a few years ago when it was TV.
Oh boy!
It
was terrible.
This year it was gaming, 4K. I mean, that was the fucking message, and I think Sony's message was, I think it was twofold. It was VR, and
very big on VR.
Whereas Microsoft isn't even acknowledging VR. They're not even acknowledging it exists.
But that's so funny because when they talked about the Scorpio last year, they said it will be VR ready at launch.
Right.
And then they're just like, and then they said, oh, well, we don't care about VR until the games look more than like tech demos. So I guess they're just like, we don't care. And
they're trying to own something, right? So they're saying we're going to own 4K gaming. That's what they're trying to own right now.
Mm.
I guess what they're seeing is that they feel like maybe you do, John, or maybe some of our listeners do, maybe that VR is not going to really go full. Everybody says the future of VR is mobile. That's what people really believe.
Yeah.
They think that those $800, $700, $600, $500 headsets are never going to take off, that the future is just something you pop your phone into. That's what a lot of people think in the industry. So they're kind of taking on that aspect. And they're maybe thinking, well, hey, you can go get something for Windows 10 if you want, our Windows 10 machines, but we're not going to push this on the Xbox. And I kind of think it was a good move. I mean, look at Rob Sprance, who came on and talked about his PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
He said he tried it once, then he put it away.
Right.
I mean, I know we have people
who used mine twice, maybe.
Yes. So since you have it, what do you think? Do you think they missed the mark by not bringing out their own Xbox VR headset or what?
No, because literally, I played Arkham VR. I played the demo disc that came with it. They just don't have, they don't have that game that makes you say I have to have VR for this. Just like. Right. I remember the episode when the Switch released, when you guys were like, John's like, oh, well, Breath of the Wild is a killer app and it's a console seller. Well, no, because it also came out on the Wii U. So it's like,
exactly,
you have to have that one game that's going to push the console. Just like for Microsoft, is Crackdown what you're going to use to push this $500 box? Because there's a lot of single parents out there, and if my mom walked in the store when I was a kid, you're getting the $250 one. You're not getting this $500 box.
No, but your little kid probably doesn't have his own 4K TV unless he's really tech oriented. Then he's going to want it anyway. So maybe that's not the market. But I like that there's options now. You know what I mean? There's 3 or 2 or 3. Is there? Can you get the old one anymore? I don't know if you can.
Oh, I think that's a wrap.
Okay.
They show it on the screen.
I like that there's 2 options now, and there's 2 options for PlayStation 2. So really everybody wins, right? Not everybody's going to go buy the PlayStation Pro either.
Right. It's basically the 1080 option and the 4K option.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Punko says Sony's message was, look at these games we showed you last year. You can buy them next year.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the presentation goes, I didn't like it, though. That guy comes out in the suit.
Horrible.
It was very dry in that theater.
It was so bad.
The sitar band came out.
And
it was
the thing
awkward.
is, we were making fun of it last night,
Yes.
But it was pretty genuine. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was really fucking bad. The Sony presentation was shit. And the thing is,
this is the first time in a while where I felt like, wow, Sony really dropped the ball. And like, they could have really put their foot on Microsoft's neck by like even dropping the price of the Pro $50.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, they just kind of like, they're resting on their laurels is the way I feel about it. It's just like, this is what you showed us. Like, Shadow of the Colossus remastered. Okay, cool, whatever.
Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is Uncharted with those girls.
And we knew that was coming back at PS. PS.
I know. I read about that in Game Informer like 6 months ago.
Right. So show The Last of Us.
So Uncharted.
Days Gone. What was it? Days Gone. Is that what it's called with the motorcycle dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the zombie.
Kind of cool, right? It's more zombies.
It's another zombie game, but with like lemmings. You're like lemmings or something.
Spider-Man seems really cool.
Spider-Man's like the only game I might. Oh, okay. Well, okay, Michelle, you talked about how PlayerUnknown Battleground was not in anyone else's conference. Well, Call of Duty World War was not in the Microsoft conference.
Well,
and so.
But that's kind of like an assumption. Like, hey, everybody gets every Call of Duty game. So what, right? Nobody says that like to have something new. Like you're not going to get excited. Wow, Call of Duty's coming to Xbox. You know that.
Yeah.
No, Sony's trying to own it, though.
They can own it, but it's still going to come everywhere.
Well, so is PUBG. But anyway.
No, but it's something new. It's something we're learning, and it's something new. It's something nobody's heard of. Nobody's going to go, oh, my God, I'm so excited. Call of Duty's coming to Xbox this year. Like, I just.
Well, Call of Duty World War II, I think, is a big deal. I mean.
It is, but like you said, if it's not an exclusive, what's the big deal?
Well.
It's still going to look better on the Xbox X now. So what do they have?
Okay, so I don't think Sony has much any. I mean, they do have the Monster of the Deep Final Fantasy fishing game.
That's a VR game.
I know. So God of War obviously is okay.
God of War is huge.
God of War is huge.
But when's it coming? Do we have the exact date, or did we just get like an ETA?
Oh, was it
early
2018?
Yeah, early 2018.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks very cool. It's like this Nordic shit. This kid's a bit of a liability though. That's following him around.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Detroit, which looked amazing last year, looks so bad.
Detroit lost me this year.
It looked really bad.
That was the biggest letdown for me. It looked like a reskinned like
Division,
Watch Dogs and Division, and I was so excited last year and now once I saw more of the gameplay for Detroit. I don't know.
I think there's a lot that can go wrong
with that
game.
Sometimes less is more.
You're right. Sometimes less is more. So
it really looks so much like Watch Dogs and Division. It almost feels like this is the new style of making games in a way that Ubisoft kind of invented, and now everyone's kind of doing it.
Yep.
Like the way everything kind of like you can interact with it, and everything's got like a little like tech thing around it and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, that is still a huge title for them to be an actual exclusive, right? I mean, they've always done this like with Heavy Rain type games, and it just seems like a lot of like. Remember, we were making fun of that, like the whole gameplay was saying yes or no. Do you want to throw this grenade?
Yes.
Like we don't really know what this gameplay is. Like it seems like it's just a lot of like cutscenes, and I really do stand by the fact that I think for single player exclusives that PlayStation probably has a stronger showing, right, than Xbox, but. I don't know what that really means anymore.
Well, the Spider-Man game is an exclusive too.
Yeah. Is that multiplayer?
Spider-Man game looked the most fun.
I still think, like I said, it's a single player kind of game.
It
mostly,
is
right?
It's single player.
Yeah.
Why did you think it was
seriously doubt there be any multiplayer? There may be some DLC or something for it later.
Right.
But it's also made by Insomniac too, which is kind of cool. But I don't know.
Spider-Man GTA would be my pick for their most exciting thing.
Me
Detroit
too.
lost me.
I'm with you
for
on
sure.
that. And of all the games that should interest me and have me most excited, Detroit is the one that I guess I'll take a wait and see attitude.
You know what shocks me though is I went in thinking that God of War was going to be what I left most excited about, and it ended up being Spider-Man. I don't know what it is about God of War. Like
it's
maybe
that
what
stupid kid.
I think it might be the kid. The worried about the liability of having him through the whole game. Is it going to be annoying?
I think it is. It looked annoying. I was just annoyed the fucking kid was there all the time.
It's still going to be badass and good, I bet. Though.
But they never showed the kid. Like, can you control the kid? Can you use his bow and arrow? Or is he just there? You just have to...
In the original demo last year, like it starts off and Kratos pretty much tells the kid, go hunt,
right,
whatever. So I would assume maybe you can. It's just like in The Last of Us. How far into the game were we before we actually used Ellie? It was like hours into the game.
Yeah,
So,
maybe the trailer just made it look really bad and annoying. Like at one point he was like on your back. And I know, John, you were like, God, I don't want to deal with this shit.
Well, the thing is, if you took that trailer, like, honestly, if someone is really good at, like, Adobe Premiere and After Effects, remove the kid from the trailer, please. Just delete him. I guarantee you the game looks just as good or better.
Yeah.
Right?
Punk says, the kid is reminding me of how you follow me in PUBG. That's why I don't like him. He was just this whiny little kid. I mean, I liked it in Eco. And I'm watching the Shadow of the Colossus trailer. I thought this was pretty cool, too. I don't really know much about... I know it's a... See, this game has been out before, right?
It's remastered.
Remastered. So how do you guys feel about all these remasters we've been seeing too as well? Like, do any of them get you excited? Or are you over remasters?
The Final Fantasy VII one did, because like that's like one of those games that was huge, but like we haven't seen that since PSX 2015, maybe, I don't know, and like that's in development hell. Like that's a PlayStation 5 title. There's no way that's launched on the PlayStation 4. It made sense to remaster The Last of Us because it was right there at the end of the generation, so I got that. But like, I think the Shadow of the Colossus remaster has a lot to do with The Last Guardian, because they strung that out so long before it actually finally released. So I think they're trying to piggyback off of that. Otherwise, like, why do you need that game right now?
So
what about Monster Hunter? The chatters want us to mention quickly. I know it's not an exclusive; it's coming out for PC and Xbox too, but. Oh, the trailer looked kind of cool. I'm not into dinosaurs, but I thought it looked fun. It looked like a game I might like.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I played this game on the 3DS. I know it's
wow.
When you think Monster Hunter, you associate it with Nintendo.
I do. Do you also?
Yeah, definitely. Because when I saw it, I was like, "Wow, really?" For Sony, it was a surprise, and I'm just like, "That's strange," because when you see Monster Hunter like 3DS bundles.
Right.
I think there's a Switch bundle. I don't think it comes to the US. It may or may not, but like you immediately associate it with Nintendo. So it was a surprise to see it.
I thought the same thing last night, but then I quickly Googled it, and I guess it was on PS2 and shit. So, yes, I agree with you, though. I've always associated it with Nintendo.
Yeah.
I don't know. The game doesn't interest me, to be honest. But the thing is, they let off the show with the Uncharted game, so I'm assuming they think that's the biggest game, or is it?
Well, I think it is. I mean, it could be fun. I can't really tell a lot about the gameplay, to be honest. I'm having a hard time really getting what the gameplay actually is. I talked about, if you go back and watch where we covered it, I was saying that I didn't understand why they were wearing cable-knit sweaters, John. But I think that's not something you would wear to... browse tombs and dive from ledge to ledge. There was some scrunchy action. I don't know about their clothing choices, but no, I don't know what the gameplay is. Like, is it going to be like basically?
It's Uncharted.
I'm saying, is it our Uncharted with two girls, or is it more story driven?
No, I think it still follows the same line. It's just
exactly just different characters.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think they stray from anything they've done.
To me, I feel like it's a little more like slow-paced, story-driven from the trailers I've seen, but that's good news then, because I was worried. So yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to get that. It's just I'm having a harder and harder time these days being moved to get, I don't know.
Giant story-driven games? Action?
No, I don't want to. I'm going to be called a PC snob right now, but I'm just saying, like, for me, it has to be a really good exclusive now at this point, like an Uncharted game to get me to, you know what, let me go boot up the PlayStation. Yeah. Let me go boot up the Xbox. Let me go boot up the Switch. Like, it has to be a crazy exclusive. And that could be one of them. I just don't know. I liked the last Uncharted game. I'm not that interested in the trailers. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe the trailers look amazing and everybody's excited, but I'm not feeling it. Are you?
It's their bread and butter. It's just we're going to get it. I'm going to get it, obviously. I've played every single Uncharted. There's no point for me to stop now. I'm interested to see how it goes. And
I'll get it. I'm just saying that I'm not all excited about it. Like, and I can't figure out why. Too soon from Uncharted? I don't know.
I don't know. It was just, for me, it was weird that they led the show off with it. And, their reasoning behind it, they said that, it's coming soon. So we want to keep it out there, and we have plenty of time for The Last of Us too. I mean, I get that, but it's like, we knew it was coming the whole time. Like, you didn't have to
You're
leave
right.
the show.
All right,
They should have led something with a surprise.
And do
All right,
here.
Nintendo.
Okay, so Nintendo's thing was this morning. Actually, it was at noon, 9 o'clock your time. And so they announced a lot of stuff, and only 2 games are coming out this year.
Yeah, a lot of people noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically said
I think the big
or Amiibo.
Yeah, the big surprise here, I think, is Rocket League on the Switch.
Is that a surprise?
Yeah, I think it is, actually. I don't think that anyone knew that.
I was genuinely surprised. I'm not going to... Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think Rocket League could be fun on the Switch, but it's all about the online multiplayer, right?
Well, if the online multiplayer, if there's bad latency and all that shit and
but
Wi-Fi...
but how do I play Rocket League on a plane? Can I play against AI? Can you?
There
no.
you go. There you go.
You can't. There's no AI in it.
So it has exclusive content.
To Starbucks and sit there on the Wi-Fi or something if you're out.
Yeah, it has cross-network play, by the way. So I guess you could play against people on PC. And,
oh, great.
Yeah. So they showed the most revealing trailer of Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
And it's very clear what the main mechanic of the game is now. It's Mario's hat. And basically, he can use his hat to possess all kinds of shit. He can put it on top of a rocket and become a rocket. He can put the hat on a dinosaur and become a dinosaur. And that's the big mechanic of the game. And
I like that.
You don't like it? Why?
I don't like it.
How come you don't like it?
I don't want to become somebody else. I want to play Mario.
Well,
that's why I bought a Mario game.
But you're fucking Mario inside a dinosaur.
I don't want to be in a dinosaur. There's nothing more clumsy than playing as other things in games. Whenever I play Warcraft and it's like, now you're a bulldozer, do this quest. It's just annoying. Like I don't even mind like he's out in the world and there's all different crazy stuff going on.
No,
like,
I don't mind that
I
at
like
all.
the way the world looks. I like what's happening.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't want to turn into all these different things.
But what if it's just to get past a little segment and then you only do it for a second?
Seems fragmented and annoying, but maybe if it's peppered in, sure.
I think it's going to be peppered in.
I don't know. The emphasis was that freaking hat.
It really
It was the hat. Well, I mean,
the
the logo's the hat, for God's sakes.
Yeah, so it's like...
Listen, I'm fucking all in. And listen, of everything that was at E3, this is it right here. This is it, guys. Right, Michelle?
What? This is
it right here. Mario.
No,
Super Mario
not for
Odyssey.
me.
That is the best fucking game I've seen in probably my whole entire life, I think. I think it is the greatest game that's ever been made. It's a really great game. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
I think the hat mechanic is genius. You know, I know Majora's Mask had the mask mechanic, and we're now...
I'm upset because I think I like how the game looks, and it looks like it could be fun. I just hope that the hat is not the main focus.
Looks like the hat's the main
Bob
focus.
wants me to be careful with the flow of the show. I must be careful.
Yes. So Xeno... actually, you know what? Well, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming out this year, too, though.
Yeah.
And Xenoblade Chronicles is a pretty massive RPG game, and it's probably going to be pretty good on the Switch. But
you know what I found odd, though?
Yeah.
Is that Miyamoto showed up to Ubisoft's conference.
He did.
But instead, at Nintendo's thing, we got the Asian Bob Dole clutching a pen, awkwardly
Well, they have a new
talking
president, right?
Yeah, awkwardly talking about Pokemon and then some weird shit. Like, I feel like, it's the Sony president came out, right?
Yes.
Phil Spencer came out, Xbox president came out. Like, Nintendo always, they don't even send somebody to come out and speak on stage live. And then when I watched the Ubisoft thing and I saw Miyamoto there, I was like, wait a minute.
He was at the Apple conference,
Yeah,
too.
exactly. He's at the Apple conference. He's there. Like, that made me feel something. I felt nothing watching this. I felt dead, John, watching the Nintendo press conference.
Yeah.
Like, just these people on green screens, like awkward recordings. Like, for me, I know we talk about E3. Sure, it's about the exclusives, the games. I also want to judge like the actual conferences, and I don't like what they did.
It's like, why do they even show up?
Because
they
Nintendo's just kind of like off the grid now with all this shit.
Yeah. It feels really weird, and they have the like ability and like the tools to do one of the more amazing. Like, they could show up live and do some crazy, insane, like happy, fun, bright, like bring out the guys. They could do something. They're just not. They're like writing it in. It's like they don't care. I feel.
Well,
like.
It's basically a pre-recorded, well-edited thing.
Then why send people is my thing. It's like, and it was 25, it was 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It was 24 minutes.
It was 24 minutes. It was stupid. Well, and you're saying this is the best thing ever because we saw some Mario hat?
Yeah, the Mario hat was very good. Well, I mean, Nintendo, listen, it's very expensive to do these giant spectacles.
Oh, give me a fucking break. It's expensive to fly somebody in. But they got
no,
like you said,
I'm telling you what
they got him at the Ubisoft, but he can't come out here.
I'm telling you what they're doing. They're saying, let's just pre-record a thing, release it on YouTube.
24 minutes. I think I shriveled up and died inside.
They had 4,000.
Your Mario hat can't save you.
All right, so the other games.
You know what pissed me off? Fire Emblem. I thought I was interested in it. I'm not. Didn't like what I saw.
Warriors?
Fire Emblem Warriors looks like just nothing but a Dynasty Warriors reskin and nothing but constant hack and slash. Did not look like the adventuring I was wanting.
It's made by Team Ninja, by the way.
It's made by the people who did Dynasty Warriors, right?
I played Hyrule Warriors. I'm going to definitely pass on that. It's the same thing. You just slap new characters and skins on it.
Exactly. That's how I felt. I was like, I've seen thousands of these games on Steam and everything else.
I don't care about it.
I was so excited about it. I thought it was adventuring, RPGing, like, and then like turn-based, fighting.
The good RPGs on the 3DS.
Okay, well, and where's fucking Animal Crossing? Nowhere to be found still.
Well, okay, so
I'm depressed about owning a Switch.
Well, they did announce there's going to be a new
Why do I have it?
Metroid Prime game.
Yeah, but is it a remaster?
No, it's brand new.
No, it's new.
It's new. It's coming late, right? Is that why people were down on it? They're like, yeah, that's great.
It's not coming out this year.
It's not coming out this year.
So,
well, that's good, I guess.
I mean, you can't blame. I mean, everyone else was doing the same shit, announcing stuff that comes out in 2018.
Okay, but this is the year they needed to bring stuff out.
Well, they're bringing out Xenoblade Chronicles. They're bringing out Mario. They're bringing out Rocket League. What else is there? I mean, and then all the other shit they announced.
Rocket League. That's the problem, though. We've played. It's just like when they put the Skyrim out there. It's like, oh, now you can have the Master Sword and the Highland Shield and Link's Tunic and stuff like that in Skyrim. So what? We played Skyrim a long fucking time ago.
Right.
I don't need this game. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
so it sounds like you weren't that excited either by it, and you're a Nintendo guy. Yeah,
I love Nintendo. Like, I'm 35 years old. The first thing, like, I played the Atari 26, but like the NES is what I grew up on. Like, but it's like, come on, like, stop disappointing us. Like, how can you come out for many generations and not have like a Metroid game, like something like that? Or it took the end of the Wii U to have Zelda. But it was also on the Switch as well. It's like,
but you do know though that this is Nintendo. Nintendo historically has huge gaps between their franchises.
And they alienate third-party developers as well. And it's like now when you need them, like it's like we're getting FIFA. It's FIFA from the 360 and the PS3. Let's be real.
Yeah, it is. They literally said that that's the engine it's running on the PS3 and the Xbox. Right. They have totally alienated third-party developers. John, your hope that they were going to get these things. And they're getting stuff like Rocket League, which I think is cool. But they're not getting any of the big games. They're getting indie-developed, like, shit games that look crappy. They're not getting any... And when they do get a game like FIFA, they're getting some neutered mode from the PlayStation 3. So therefore, the only thing Nintendo has to offer me are their exclusives. And I'm not seeing enough of them.
And Mario. And you know, maybe Pikmin and... Animal Crossing. It'd be cool if, like, we got like Mother Earthbound or something like that, or remaster. Like, they have a license to print money. They're just super arrogant and like they're not change their ways.
Exactly. They have the most potential. Like, I would be buying a game every month from them, like, because they're the only ones who can offer them. But instead, you have to wait forever, or they're just not making them. Like you said, why wasn't there a Metroid game? Where's the Animal Crossing game? Oh, where's the Fire Emblem game, John? You said the good ones for DS.
I said the RPG one is for the 3DS.
Okay, so where's an RPG one for this? Like, what? Why aren't you taking these great, like, you know, things that you have and just putting out games for them?
There is a Metroid game too. They announced for the 3DS as well.
Yeah, there's one for the Switch as well as the 3DS. So
I don't get it.
The one for the Switch is the Prime game, so it's going to be a first-person platformer.
I mean, I literally have only played like mostly Zelda, and now I'm looking for, like, I'm holding my breath till Mario, and then I'm going to get it, and I'm going to be like, yeah, it's cool, but his hat.
When the credits roll on Breath of the Wild, what are you going to play? And it's like, okay, yeah, I've played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I played, I played the ARMS test, and I played the Splatoon 2 test.
Me too.
But I'm not going to buy Street Fighter 2 again. I was like 12 when that game came out.
The thing is, everyone I know that has a Switch has bought that Street Fighter game. I think that's the biggest fucking ripoff ever. Why are they charging so much money for an arcade port? when all the Neo Geo games are like $8. It's like it's
Because
from,
they're
it's from the
Nintendo.
same fucking era. All
And
right,
if something shows up on the Nintendo store, people like flip their shit.
right.
That's it. All right. So really quickly, the PC game show. I as a PC gamer, like this doesn't even interest me. Like I feel like stuff like with PC, like they announced it in a different way. There's not one like unified thing. But of course, the big theme there was streaming, esports, VR, which I think people need to get over. But they're talking about how they're going to be pulling in Intel is working on something mixed reality viewing. So when you're watching a game like Overwatch, you can put your virtual reality headset on and be actually in the game. So even if the players aren't playing in VR, you're going to be able to watch them in VR, see their perspective. So that they showed off. I guess if you have a VR thing, it gives you something else to do with it because watching games, as we learned, is more popular than watching Netflix, HBO, all that shit combined. What else? I know, John, I don't think you watched, but
No, I didn't watch from.
They pushed something here called well, not called, but they said world exclusive. This is the big deal, right? Age of Empires Definitive Edition. They're redoing the old one, and everybody was all excited. And I was watching chat, and then came up Windows 10 store only,
Well,
and everybody went,
Isn't that a
no buy from me.
That's a Microsoft
Yeah.
property, isn't it?
No, Age of Empires has always been though like available other places.
But Microsoft owns that, don't they? Am I wrong?
Yeah. I don't know. They may now, but it's always been other places.
I think they've always owned it. I think that's always been a Microsoft published game.
But I played. I don't know. I've played other ones elsewhere. Maybe it was on GOG with like DRM free or some shit.
Here's excuse me. Here's Age of Empires 2 box. It's Microsoft. That's their property.
But what's weird is Microsoft was infiltrating into the PC Gamer Show. Like they were there. They were talking about all these Windows 10 exclusives. We didn't see Valve at all pushing anything. It was just kind of like this is Microsoft's plan. They are coming after the PC market still, right? They are pushing Windows 10. They are pushing Mixer. They are pushing all of this crap. They are there. And like there was just not a lot of excitement around it. I don't think they're going to get that support. Of course, the guy from PUBG was there. They talked about zombies are coming to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. There's going to be all
vaulting
these
and
modes.
jumping and
Vaulting, jumping, weather, a new gun. But the zombies thing looks kind of cool. I guess it's going to be a couple of people with guns versus like tons of zombies with like pans or some shit. And you're gonna get to choose like what side. And then so they're just showing you how there's all these different modes you can do. But overall, I really didn't think the PC gaming show was good, and I don't really care like what they do or talk about.
Did you see the guys that made Arma have some lighthearted island survival game called Ylan's?
I heard about it. I didn't watch that
It's
part.
a polygonal crafting exploration. It's basically
I didn't like the art.
It's basically their Minecraft, it looks like.
Right.
So the alpha version of the game is available as part of the developer's incubator program. It'll hit Steam Early Access soon. We should try it at least.
What is it? Is it exactly Ylands? I forget how to spell it.
It's Ylands, yeah.
Yeah.
Play a trailer for that. I'm curious to see it.
I don't know.
It's definitely
I can't
Minecraft. I
it's
really
coming
think so.
for Windows and Steam. Yeah, it's Minecraft.
Yeah, it's Minecraft.
It's basically Minecraft art, at least, but a little more pixelated, more of a triangle. I see stuff like this just doesn't do it for me.
No, it's Minecraft. Look at the crafting.
To me, when I say this, I say it looks like a mobile app. Like I can't.
Yeah,
do
but
it.
the thing is, Minecraft looked like a mobile app, and it fucking sold more than any other game ever
Well, that
made.
doesn't mean
That doesn't mean we have to play it.
exactly.
I
It
know.
doesn't mean I have to play it.
On my phone, I'm not interested in playing it on a console or a PC.
I agree.
It looks
I agree.
stupid.
So, while it may be popular and it may be fun, this game just kind of went over my head, as with most of their announcements. I didn't feel anything. I mean, here's the thing. I am used to watching BlizzCons, okay? And they make a spectacular out of stuff. And like when they talk about their PC games, like they make a spectacle, but it's like spectacular. Like when you are watching stuff about their games, like even if you don't want to play it, like you're into it, right? They bring out the developers, they talk about it, they've got footage, they've got gameplay. Like I watched this PC gaming show and I'm like, well, you know what? They should have pulled people from Blizzard. They should have pulled people from Valve. Instead, we get some idiot from Microsoft talking about how Age of Empires is being remastered. It was terrible. I didn't like it.
You know what? One of the most important things that came out of E3 was
what's that?
The Nyne dock for the Switch.
Well, it's a third-party dock, which
it's a
is cheaper.
It's a third-party dock that looks like the Wii U dock, and it's only $45. And it does everything the Nintendo Switch dock does, except charge your controller.
That's what we needed from Nintendo.
This is what we needed all along. Right here. It's $45.
Does it come with the power cord and HDMI cable, or just the dock itself?
It comes with everything.
You know what I also also found interesting during I believe it was the PlayStation conference. We were talking about like the Nintendo before. They showed
good, actually.
They showed a game. I forget which one it was. I made a note of it, but there was like they showed a Switch remote, and like they had like an amiibo on it, and it looked really cool.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That was Ubisoft thing with the
yeah
with the little planes or whatever the fuck they were.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I saw
that.
Oh
yeah, I saw that.
Oh, Starlink. They attached something to the Nintendo controller. So I'm like, Ubisoft got me more excited than Nintendo did for Nintendo.
Ubisoft always gets me more excited than anyone else during these events. They're really good at doing these events,
We're going to talk about like the other minor stuff in our bonus show in a little bit, but let's wrap this up and talk about who we thought won, since John wants to save that for the end. We're going to each pick our favorite
Michelle,
and our least favorite. I'm going to go last. Why don't we have our guests go first? Please tell us who you thought won the event.
Oh boy. That's hard to say. It's like, what did we see different? Like, I'm a huge PlayStation guy, but I saw Detroit last year. I saw God of War last year. We didn't see anything else from The Last of Us 2. We didn't get any release dates for anything. Like, Spider-Man doesn't have a release date. It's just like, oh, coming soon, coming 2018. They dropped the ball. I don't know how much of the stuff that comes out on the One X I'm going to play. Like, Forza, I know I'm going to play that, but like, oh, you're going to give me a patch for Gears of War 4? Cool. Maybe I'll play it again. And Nintendo was Super Mario heavy, and it's like, Metroid is coming, but it's in development. Oh, there's a Pokemon RPG coming. It's hard to rank them, honestly.
I think it is.
Do it. Rank them.
I would put Nintendo last because, like, the shortness of their show and just, like, the way, like you said, like, you guys can't show up on a stage. You have to do a Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
I'll put them last. I will give Microsoft the edge and put them 1 because they spent all that money in R&D and everything on that hardware, and they showed the power of it. Like, I don't give a shit that you put a Porsche on the stage, but I mean, like, you showed what the console was capable of, so I'll give them 1. I'll put Sony 2.
I think their stage also looked kind of like, just talking about, like, I think we should also talk about like the presentations themselves. Like you said, Nintendo couldn't even show up. It was pre-recorded footage. Microsoft was there. Sony, they were there. And so I think I agree with you.
Sony had audio issues,
Yeah, they did. The whole beginning was muted.
Yeah.
Okay, John, who do you pick?
Well, okay.
You already said Nintendo won it for you with Mario. They were done.
No, I mean, that's
hat.
No. Okay, let me be clear. Okay. That is the game I'm most excited about this year, okay? Because I'm really hoping it somehow returns to Super Mario Sunshine for me. Because I just didn't connect with Galaxy as much as I wanted to. And Super Mario World, while it was 3D World, while it was great, it still wasn't Mario Sunshine or an open world kind of game. So I'm hoping it gives me that, because I just dream about those Mario Sunshine moments. And I'd like to recreate that. But I thought, but I cannot possibly say Nintendo won it, because they didn't. Because the stuff they're releasing this year, well, first of all, Splatoon, we already knew about that, and that is a game I'm looking forward to. But we've known about that forever, ARMS I can give 2 shits about. I'm going to get it still. And so there's no way I can say Nintendo won this, because they didn't. I think the Switch probably has a lot more. I think it has more legs than you realize. I think that there's a huge install base. I think third party is going to get behind it, and we're starting to see that
huge
happen.
Install base, which we just had that conversation about how many people bought GTA in the last week.
I know,
week.
but the thing is,
like,
the thing is, the Switch has the hype. Okay. And I go. They
have the hype when you're in the inner circle and you surround yourself with Nintendo fans. When you look at gaming as a whole, I don't think they have that hype. You think they do?
No, I think they do. And when I'm out and about and I see the Switch on planes now, which I'm seeing.
Okay, but there could be more people, Xbox gamers on the plane, but they don't have it there with them. That doesn't tell you anything. It's just an anecdotal example.
No, it's not.
You saw a Switch on a plane, so that means everybody has Switch hype.
I'm seeing Switches on the plane, and I think that seeing Rocket League coming out of nowhere is indicative of what's happening in the future here, and I think it's good.
That they're going to keep getting old Steam games, yeah.
That game came out on Xbox One and PS4 not that long ago. But anyway, moving on. And the Switch has only been out for a couple months. So, yeah, they got it now. So, anyway, I thought the Sony conference was kind of a joke. I really did. Like, when we were watching that last night, I was in disbelief what we were seeing. Just seemed, they seemed weak. They seemed like they were
The thing I didn't like about it is
they just did not show
up.
No.
It seemed like they phoned it in, and there was just no surprises for me. And, like I have a PS4, you know, it's great and all, and the games that have come out thus far are good, and there's great exclusives on it. But what I saw at the PS4 conference just didn't float my boat at all.
It was just weird. It should have been some massive like God of War stage when they came out with like some guy dressed as like a Viking.
But the thing is, I watched the game and that kid fucking bothered me. It made me not care about that game, right?
You really hate that kid, John.
I did.
Detroit made me not care about that game.
That ruined it for me too. So
yeah,
I mean, like he said, like Derrick said, I mean, I gotta agree with you. Microsoft had some really impressive hardware for $500. Like that's. I mean, they're basically saying, listen, PC's a console now, right? And we're going to make the box for everyone to play those games in your living room, okay? We might not have the exclusives necessarily, but if you feel like you're missing out on the PC gaming stuff and those types of games, they're sending a message, right? You know, here's PlayerUnknown Battleground. You can have that PC-like experience in your living room. You don't have to spend the money to build a gaming PC. But at the end of the day, though, they don't have those exclusives. I'm a little worried about the Windows Store, how that's getting shoved down our throat.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I agree.
And it was constantly on the screen, available in Windows and Xbox Store, available in Windows and Xbox. It didn't say like...
But you, as somebody who owns both and plays both, should be excited that they're cross-buys. You buy them once, they're in both places.
But it didn't say like available at Best Buy or in Amazon. You know, it was just like, you know, which might be the reality. That could be the reality, right? Maybe you can get it at Amazon. But it was just such the message about everything. So, but at the end of the day, I like their conference the best. I like what they showed the best, you know?
Yeah.
I'm giving it to Microsoft.
And who do you pick as the worst, Sony?
Probably Nintendo, honestly.
Okay. I think we all are agreeing on every single thing because I'm doing the exact same thing. Nintendo was a 24-minute pathetic. Sony was just weird. I'm still excited about some games, but they lost me on others. And I have to say Xbox One, like I said at the start of this, which I don't know if you edited out, but if I didn't own a PC, this would be the console I would own. I think the price is on point for what you're getting. I think they do have some exclusives, but for me, it's less about the exclusives and more just about where I want to play these games.
Why wouldn't you buy a PlayStation?
A lot of the argument though on the Xbox was like, you say this is the premium console. A lot of people, I heard this and I kind of had this opinion. A lot of people were upset it did not come with the Elite controller.
I agree. They should have done that. I think that was a little bit of greed. If they had included that thing in here, that would have been badass. Or if they had included like, hey, you get a discount on it when you buy it, you know, you can get one for $50 upgrade. Like this could have been an upgradable thing. If you want to pay $100 more, you get an SSD. Like what happened to that whole upgradable thing? Once again, I also thought the box itself looked uninspiring.
Oh yeah, we missed something important, by the way.
What's that?
Not important, but it was a surprise announcement. And by the way, this mirrors a little bit. Michelle, what you and I were talking about a few weeks ago or months ago about how because I noticed that Microsoft's bringing all those 360 games forward because it's all about that account, right? You have this account, your Microsoft account with all your digital games, right? So the problem they had was that the 360 games were trapped in 360 land, and they brought them all forward to your new Microsoft account, and now you have this account that goes with you from console to console to console. Well, they did the same thing with the original Xbox now. All the Xbox games are going to start coming forward, and they announced Crimson Skies, by the way, as one of the first forward-compatible Xbox.
That was one of the few really fun flying games, and one of the games I wouldn't mind seeing again.
And Mech Warriors, or whatever that was, that Robotech game. What was that called? It was Mech Warriors,
Chrome
right?
Hounds, maybe?
No, that was something else. It was Mech something. Whatever, but I thought it was interesting to bring the original Xbox games forward.
Yeah.
And again, but the thing is, did we buy those games? We didn't buy those games digitally, so those aren't in your account. So you're basically
they might be. I don't know. Well, here's the thing. As far as talking about just who I think won, I think Microsoft won. I think they had the best showing, the most to offer, obviously, but also they just won on their presentation. I thought Phil Spencer did a good job. He was comfortable.
He's
the stage
way
looks
cooler
great.
than that
It was
Sony
excited.
tool. Yeah.
He came out in comfy clothes, not in a stupid uptight suit. It felt real. It felt natural. It felt genuine. I felt like they really, you know what I mean? And I've been down on Xbox before because I think Xbox One was a pile of shit.
Yeah.
And I thought the PlayStation was better. I thought PlayStation Pro was better, but I have faith now. I think that they've recouped from those mistakes.
They pivoted.
It was not about the Kinect anymore. It's not about,
TV.
Hey, watch cable with us, right? It's not about any of this bullshit. It's about, you know what? Fuck this. We are the PC gaming of consoles. You don't want a PC? Great, whatever. If you do, we'll throw you some Windows 10 shit. Don't even think about it.
They got smart. You know what, Michelle? They realized, why should we compete with a $30 Chromecast, right?
Exactly.
We are about games. We need to stop talking about streaming video and all this other bullshit. Even though on our extra we did last time kind of proved that it's 50-50, right? People are gaming.
That's for old shit, though. And you can still do that, though. There's always going to be a Netflix app in your Xbox, but that's not something you come out talking about. That's old. That's shitty, right? I think they've learned from their mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that there's something I want to read here, which I just got. It just came in from Drew. He messaged me on Twitter, and he said, so this Microsoft showing at E3 has me ready to jump into PC gaming finally. I know you and John have spoken about this 100 times, but I don't feel like backtracking through a mess of episodes. Where do you place your priorities when deciding what to spend your budget on, and what pieces do you think you feel it's okay to go over budget on? Thank you in advance. So it's interesting that somehow watching this Microsoft conference is causing people to want to jump into the PC
You know
world.
why?
Is that because of the cross-buy thing? And
because there's Microsoft's basically saying, we've got all these games, play them on Xbox or PC, make up your mind. You pick.
What they're doing is working. Like there's more people like saying, you know, I'm going to grab a Windows 10 laptop
Microsoft still wins if you do that.
So you talk about where can I play these games mobily on a plane? Well, hey, there's a guy with a Switch, but there's also a guy with a Windows 10 laptop who's playing his entire Xbox catalog. You know what I'm saying? And what is Sony doing there? They don't have any of that. I know you can, but it's a little different. So let me just kind of answer his question. Where do you spend your budget on a PC when you're playing games on the graphics card? Right?
Yes.
The first thing you want to do is set your budget, and then you can figure out what monitor you're going to be gaming on so you know your resolution, and then you buy the graphics card, and then you look at the processor and the SSD, but always put your money into the graphics card. And I can answer you more in print, but I just wanted to kind of touch base on that during the show. But I really think Microsoft should keep running with this whole PC linked thing, but they really have to let PC gamers breathe a little bit from where they're offering their games. Let them be available on Windows 10, but also elsewhere, or they're never going to get us to. They're not going to win over people like me. They're not going to get the Steam people. They're not going to get people on Good Old Games. They're not going to get that. They got to let go of the Windows 10 thing a little bit.
They're not going to. They're not going to let go of that.
Well, that's going to be their loss.
No. This is their strategy.
Well for them for their Xbox users, but it's going to work against them for PC gamers. But they don't care because look, PlayerUnknown's Battleground is now coming to Xbox. So you don't buy the Steam version. You buy the Xbox version, right? And play it on Windows 10. How awkward is that?
The games that they can control, though, it's going to be both. It's going to be. Because what they're saying is, we've got the games here. You decide where you want to play them. No matter what, though, you're buying them from us in our store. That's the message here. That's the message.
Right. And as down as I am on that, I will say that, like I said, I watched the conference twice. I was hyped for it. Like, it made me want to buy one of these things, and I have no purpose for it. I'm not going to. But I think if you're out there and you have a 4K TV and you've been holding back, maybe you're a PlayStation guy and you don't have an Xbox yet, I would bite on this. I think it's a good deal. And even if you're not going to get any exclusives, you look at your PlayStation and say, well, why am I going to play on the PlayStation when I could play way better? It could run way better and look way better on this Xbox, right? You can get that a little bit of that PC-ness without building your PC. So I think it's kind of something that's going to do well. Maybe it'll bomb. Like, people claim the PS4 Pro bombed, by the way. They claim nobody's buying them, right?
I think it did too, right?
Right.
We read that. We had an article. We read an article about that. Like, no one's buying that thing, and we saw it at Christmas last year.
I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't think this is. I
think you're right, Michelle. I think I agree with you completely. I think the message
is they're doing it better. The PS4 Pro is good, and it does look pretty good.
You know what? Though,
but it doesn't have that vibe that this thing has.
The message with the PS Pro, though, isn't Microsoft manipulated this message so great with the Scorpio processor showing the fucking processor and the guts and the electronics.
Cooled.
Yeah,
by the way, it probably needs to be because it's this tiny little box and these powerful processors, right?
Right.
So like they have this whole people are eating this shit up, and there's like, if you go online and read the comments, there's like a lot of anger coming from the Sony side about this thing. They're shitting all over it. I don't need this. I just built a PC. But let's face it, not everybody wants to. So I don't know. I thought they won. I thought Nintendo did the worst. I'd put PlayStation PlayStation in the middle. We're going to talk about the other people
We are,
now in our bonus
right
show.
now.
Do we want to roll through these voicemails really quick or just save them for next
Let's
week?
save them for next week.
Okay. Sorry, some of them are E3 related, but
Well, I'll play one. Hang on.
it is what it is. I think there's 3 left.
Close the window. Hang on.
And thank you for putting up with us, Derrick. I know we were a little out of flow tonight.
No, you guys. No, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, here we go.
We did. All right, here we go.
Just gotta say the due date of the Xbox console, Xbox One X, is so fucking retarded.
He's saying that naming the Xbox console Xbox X is fucking retarded, this guy.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the name. It doesn't flow, right?
Yeah. All right, here we go.
But that name was kind of out there. That leaked a couple months
Yeah.
ago. I was like, no, that's stupid. They wouldn't name it that. And then
They did.
You know what? Did they do that, though? Because we all assumed it was going to be called Scorpio. But that was the code name ultimately. But
If they called it Xbox 4K, then people who don't have 4K TVs wouldn't buy it.
yeah.
And I think that's why they didn't. But
And
what
if
else could they really call it? Xbox Pro?
And if they called it Scorpio, it would have really confused people. It's like, oh, this is a new thing
Right.
completely.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh my God, John, stop with the fucking mosquito noise. I will find your PUBG character and I will shit on him. Enough.
All right, that guy wants me to stop with the mosquito noise. He's going to find my PUBG character and shit on him.
Yeah. Whenever we're streaming PUBG and there's flies in the game, John, you go bzzz, and it's really annoying.
All right, here we go.
We'll work on that.
520 Phil VGO.
Hey VGO, this is Devin from Philly. Just want to let you guys know I recently demoed the new Ace Combat 7 on the PlayStation VR, and it is pretty awesome. I think John will like it, and yeah, guys should check it out.
So he downloaded Ace Combat on PlayStation VR, and he says, I would like it.
Yeah, John, why have you been avoiding VR? You told me that it was set up somewhere, and you didn't even try it.
At the Atlanta show, they had a whole VR section where you could try it out, and I didn't do it. I should have, right?
And your friend Matt has it. You
I
haven't
know.
gone
We'll
over
do it
to
soon.
try it.
All right,
Why
get us
are
out
you
of here. I don't
avoiding
know.
Anyway, you know where to find us during the week. Please head over to RiotCast.com and VideoGameOutsiders.com. And if you want to listen live, go to YouTube.com/VGOcast. That's where you can watch the show live every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Also, go pick up our app. It's the best way to listen to the show. It's completely free. We appreciate
That's
even
right.
the download. If you want to support the show, you know what to do. $2 a month, you get access to extra shows. And you know where to find us on Twitter at Coastal Michelle, at BlackDog7. And is there anything you want to share or kind of a name you want to give out, Derrick, where people can find you or touch base with you?
Just Twitter, NES Jackson, JAXON. That's fine.
Okay.
Cool.
So follow him there. And thank you so much for joining us. I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
And then, guys, if you're listening live, we're going to be going over to Twitch right now. Twitch.com/VideoGameOutsiders.
Yeah, we're going to do our bonus show on Twitch.
All right.
Be there in a minute.
Mixing it up. Stopping recording
Mixing it.
now.
All right, bye.